Hi, everyone. Welcome to Club Rats. My name is John.
I'm Jesiah.
Special guest today here for our NFL Draft Edition, my dad, Ross. Right now, we're currently watching the one of the most, I think it's in the record books, right, in terms of an NBA collapse. The Magic were up 22 at halftime, and they're down 13 with 2 minutes to go in the game. I don't think this series means much, but it's still fascinating to watch a team just totally implode like this. They have 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like.
And
they were on 1 point for a lot of this.
I don't know if any NBA team has scored single digits in a fourth quarter. That's insane.
It's wild.
In a playoff.
At home. And if they win the game, they go on to the next round.
At this point, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Pistons are beating them 29-6. So the Magic have only scored six points in this fourth quarter with 2 minutes left to go. It's unbelievable. And it looks like we're going to Game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7 in Detroit.
On Sunday. Okay, so starting with the NFL Draft here, we're going to go through each pick of the first round. And then we'll go through, all the additional picks of that team's draft, kind of grade their overall ranking, how they did. Obviously, we can say who we like, whatnot. But let's start off, obviously, number one pick, Las Vegas Raiders draft Mendoza from Indiana.
Clear-cut number one pick,
He was basically chosen as number one pick 2 months ago. What do you think of him as a quarterback? Who would you say he's
Well, as everybody
most
knows, people that watch the show, they know I'm a Raiders fan. So I hope Mendoza turns out to be Tom Brady. But the truth about all these first-round quarterbacks, it's a 50-50 proposition. Like Josiah's going on, well, he's the de facto. You go talk to Sean McVay, and they got the Simpson kid. Hell, they probably got him better than Mendoza. Mendoza's 6'5", 225. I like the size. His arm's okay. He played in a spread offense. Hasn't been under center much.
I thought Cignetti did a good job of giving him easy throws.
Well, the spread does that.
Simple offense.
It's a one-read system. A lot of crossers, easy throws.
I think he's Jared Goff.
Where people get worried about him. Get worried about him is when that one read wasn't there, he tended to tuck the ball
and run
and then do well. Okay, so
and
that's not going to work in the NFL.
He's not even Cam Newton, and
the other number that
he got worn out.
That's really scary when teams put pressure on him. His stuff falls off. He's not any good when he's under pressure.
Pressure breaks pipes.
Well, but it's a 50-50 deal. Let me say this, why I think the kid's going to make it. And I've given you reasons already why he may not make it. And then I know the Raider nuts out there, and I'm a Raiders fan. They've got him, like I say, already in the Hall of Fame. The Raiders are being smart about this. Bring in Kirk Cousins in. Let him start. Let Mendoza learn the offense. Get his feet wet. Yeah. He's a good kid, smart kid, and hard worker.
Him being smart, I think, is his biggest.
And Cousins,
I'm going to tell you though,
his biggest attribute.
Cousins will work with. They'll get along. No.
Having Kirk Cousins in the room, the Raiders. As I said, this is why I think he'll make it. But I'm telling you, you watch the kid's tape, and this is why McVay's all over Simpson. Simpson has been in a system where it's not there. I got to go here, and then he makes the throw. There's none of that from Mendoza. Mendoza. It's one read. If it's not there, we'll see. And also, and I'll say the same thing about Simpson when we get to him. These one-year guys, Mendoza had 1 year. The year at Indiana was really good. You go back and look at the stuff he did at Cal. Hell, he took 40 sacks at Cal. So there's a lot of evidence out there.
He was young, though. It was a freshman.
There's a lot of evidence out there that Mendoza is not a processor.
That's scary. That scares me.
I'd be real careful with that. Now, with all these first-round quarterbacks, 50-50. Literally, half of them make it, half of them don't. So you guys can go on about Mendoza. I've looked at the whole thing. My biggest worry about him is I broke down and I've looked at these 5 games now multiple times. You take him in the biggest games. Like, you guys even want to go on. You know how many yards he threw for against Miami when they won a championship?
150.
$186.
Yeah,
his biggest play was that scramble play from inside the 10. What?
Yeah, but that was a winning play.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody, I watched Vince Young at Texas, and he won a national championship that way. In the NFL, Jesiah, you win from the pocket, and you win by going through your reads and knowing where to go with the football. Can Mendoza become that? Yes. But he's not that right now.
I've seen,
and you're going to have to. There's going to be a lot of work there. Now, he's a hard worker, smart kid.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are being smart about it.
Surprisingly.
But will you get?
Are they going to protect him with an offensive line?
They didn't do anything in the draft, which we'll get to the. You want to go through the Raiders?
Yeah. So
draft?
Okay, what did you think of the rest of the Raiders draft out there for all the Las Vegas hopeful?
Right, do you pull their draft up, and because I can go through each guy. Pull it up on your cell phone. They just list it real easy.
Okay, so obviously Mendoza.
Let me give this oversight. The reports I have heard is Pete Carroll sabotaged last year. Spytech drafted with Pete Carroll in mind.
Yeah.
And then they gave Pete Carroll players, and he didn't use them. There was Pete Carroll.
So I don't want to cut you off. The Magic did lose. Mickey Mouse looks dejected. Disneyland's on fire.
Yeah.
Just a tremendous. I've never seen anything like this. Sorry.
Pete Carroll kind of sabotaged, and Spytech and Brady deferred to Pete Carroll. He was a Super Bowl winning coach. They wanted him to have his team.
Yeah.
They did that with the draft and didn't work. This was Spytech's draft. So 100%. As we go through these guys, and like Jesiah said, everybody crowned Mendoza. I get it. You're going to take Raiders have needed a quarterback now forever. You're going to take a guy. He was the best there was. So that pick was locked in. Run through the names on the rest.
So in the second round, they got Traden Stukes out of Arizona. Safety.
Yeah, he's a safety. He came on late in the draft.
6 foot 190.
He had a really good combine type workout situation. There's a general manager I just read the other day. He thinks that kid's better than Downs.
Wow.
Well, the kid, let me say this. See, the kid runs well enough where you can.
Did he run faster than Downs?
The kid runs a 4.3.
Oh, yeah.
See, he had the combine workout.
I love Downs, but he ran a
Downs
4.6.
Wow.
Down might even be 4.6 or 4.7.
And that's scary. If you're a back, you're a back seven guy, you got to run faster than the NFL.
Down is an in-the-box guy, got to play close to the line of scrimmage. This kid, you can play
in the
back off, and you can single hot, and he can run with guys. See, if it gets behind Downs, there's nothing Downs can do because he can't catch him. This kid can move. He's physical, tough kid. He kind of came on late. There are a lot of people. That's a good pick by the Raiders. We need help in the secondary back there. You can't argue with those first two picks. Yeah. They had to take Mendoza, and this was a good pick.
Third round, K-Ron Crawford out of Auburn, edge.
Okay, he played opposite the kid.
6'4", 253.
What?
6'4", 253.
Yeah. Well, he played opposite of the kid that Tennessee took at 31, I think, or 30. Tennessee took a big kid. This kid is more of an undersized guy, speed rusher. For a third-round draft pick, it's not a bad pick. I don't know how he's going to hold up against the run, but see, you already have Crosby there on the edge as well.
Yeah.
You guys are already getting a sense on this. I think the Raiders had a good draft. I think Spytech went ahead and ran the draft himself. These are the guys he wanted.
Did Brady make any of these picks?
Well, Brady obviously blessed the Mendoza.
Do you think he'll be able to help Mendoza?
They're going to talk. See, this again, getting back to Mendoza, getting on this processing thing, John Ross. If it was that easy, everybody'd be able to do it. We're not going to be able to know if Mendoza can do it till he gets in a game
6
and the
years.
heat starts coming. Is he able to go through his reads? Does he know where to go? Does he panic? And again, it's a concern at Indiana. Pull that ball down, take off and run. That ain't going to get it done in the NFL. It's not going to work.
So late in the third round, they got Trey Zuhn. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Out of
Zuhn.
Zuhn, yep.
Yeah.
Center out of Texas A&M.
Yeah. Again, some would say
6'6", 312.
Some would say
At center, he's 6'6".
Yeah.
That's a big
6'6",
center.
312.
Well, he actually played offensive tackle at Texas A&M before they moved him to center. Some would say that's
Hang on one second. Yeah, so that's the all-time. That's the fourth largest deficit
so there have been
in the history of the NBA
there have been other
playoffs.
collapses.
But still, fourth all-time. I mean, we did just see history. You don't see that happen.
Oh,
too
no,
often.
no.
It was a very.
Now,
that was incredible.
Orlando also didn't have Wagner,
And it's huge.
who's their best player. I know
Probably.
people can say Banchero all they want.
In this series, he's huge because he can guard Cade. But go back to the Raiders.
The center,
Zune, yeah.
some people would say it's a reach in the third round. Most people had him in rounds 4 through 6. But here's what I get out of that. The Raiders are going to let him try to win the center job. Then they can move that Jackson Powers kid over to guard. And that Jackson Powers kid, he got into it with Pete Carroll. I don't know what the problem was with those
Wasn't
two.
Pete Carroll's son the offensive line coach?
I
too?
don't. There was. The more I look, at the time we were all screaming,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's great to get Pete Carroll."
He kind of did a Phil Jackson on the Knicks.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, that's actually a great comparison. Phil Jackson on the Knicks.
He was just
Pete
he was there
Carroll
for a paycheck.
caused a lot
he,
of problems.
he just
It
got a
didn't go
payday.
well.
And,
You saw how bad the season went. But the Jackson Powers kid could possibly be moved to guard if this kid from Texas A&M. Again, it's not a bad pick, although they probably took him a round or two early. But I see the logic behind it.
but it's a good. You want to get a
Yes,
center to
but
protect
when-
your star quarterback.
And
that's good.
this is another theme. When there's a logic that I have to
things
the pick,
good things can come of it.
then you it's like with Mendoza. At least the Raiders are not going to bring him in and say, "Okay, you're the starting."
Go throw the ball
quarterback.
40 times a game.
Let Kirk Cousins go out there and get killed, which may happen, by
Yeah.
the way. Let Mendoza take his time, get his feet wet. He's a good kid. Let him try to learn. I'm telling you, though, and as a defensive guy, I never really liked quarterbacks. I think they get way too much credit. I do respect these guys, though, that stand in that pocket, know that they're going to get killed, and still know where to go. This is what Tom Brady did. It's what Patrick Mahomes does. The Allen kid in Buffalo, Burrow in Cincinnati. But you know how hard it is because I just gave you 4 guys, and that's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
So what Mendoza's trying to do, I think everybody needs to realize how hard it is what the kid is trying to do. And there's no lock on it.
And let's just be real.
We're not going to know till he finally gets thrown out. And I'm going on about how it's good to let him sit. There are other people that say, hell, put the kid out there and find out if he can play.
how many-
And both ways have worked. Quarterbacks have come. Peyton Manning was good even though he was out there from day one.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers sat 3 years.
It was
and it's going,
And then saw Brady sit.
And well,
Brady sat a year.
Brady couldn't have played his first year. He wasn't ready to play. They had Drew Bledsoe. They got Brady in pretty quick though. The second year, as soon as Bledsoe got hurt, and Belichick never moved.
Okay,
off
what's
him.
the next pick, Jesiah?
So early 4th round, they got Jamard McCoy.
Cornerback.
Yes,
cornerback
now
out in
this
Tennessee.
pick could be the
He's
steal
6
of
foot,
the draft.
180.
6 foot 188.
The
Steal
kid,
of the draft.
He was
Wow,
a
he had
top,
an 88 grade too.
he was a top 15 pick.
Did he
until,
kill somebody or something?
No.
What did he do?
Okay, here's the story on
Was he
him.
driving with the Georgia football team?
His story on him is his junior tape at Tennessee, which was last year. He looked really good. Now I'm not going to say
Why
like
did he
Deion
drop?
Sanders, but he looked like the kid for the Patriots, Christian Gonzalez. Then this year he blew his knee out
Oh,
during
that's
the
why.
workouts. Yeah, but okay, so torn ACL, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Then they go do the medicals. He's got some bone plug they put in because there was cartilage damage too. By the time they got done with his knee, a lot of NFL people don't think he's going to make it to his second contract.
So he's ranked second
he
in his
could have
position.
went without the knee.
That's
he would have
crazy.
went in the top 10 pick. The Chiefs took a corner at 6 from LSU. They may have taken McCoy if
If he didn't
McCoy
get
had
hurt.
the knee. So the Raiders took a flyer. Again, it's a great
4th
pick.
round, yeah.
He could turn out to be a number 1 corner. He could be out of the league in 2 years. It's going to depend on how the knee, what's going to happen there. He may need another procedure to go in.
So
There's real concern.
That's why he
that-
dropped. That
That
makes
real
sense.
concern is that knee is going to be a chronic
So he's
issue.
he's like kind of a hope.
I wouldn't say he's a hope because
We hope if he's healthy,
yeah, but
he should
at
be
his
good.
personal workout,
But
he ran a 4.4 something, 4.3. He jumped 40
No,
inches.
I understand, but as a Lions fan, taking a guy, we just drafted a defensive back with a torn ACL. It's not. He's got some problems,
Well, what people
if
thought,
he can get healthy, he could be good.
Yeah.
what people thought was going to happen with him is a team that's real close to winning. We're just going to go ahead and draft him and use him for a year.
The next pick, fourth round, it was the 22nd pick in the fourth round, was Mike Washington Jr.
Running back
Harold Washington
out of Arkansas.
He 6'1",
has all
223, so he is a bigger back.
He has, and also he ran a 4.4. All the physical attributes are there with him. He's actually might even be more physically gifted than the Love kid who went at 3. And the Jadarian Pierce kid that went late in the first round to Seattle. But there's the production's not there. There were production issues. He's not the back that those other two guys I just mentioned. And that's why he was there. In the fourth round, as a rotational guy, backup guy to Genty, he runs really well. As you just pointed out, he's a big guy. He can catch the ball a little bit. He's got power. He's one of those guys, if the light comes
injuries
on
with him?
for what?
No injuries with him?
No,
good.
he's healthy. If the light comes on with him, you could have got kind of a fourth round steal there. But he was never really consistent in college and never produced, which is why, even though he has all the physical attributes, he's sitting there in the fourth round.
Fifth round, they got Jesiah Masses from California.
Is he
cornerback?
Is he from the Amish land of Pennsylvania?
Man.
Hezekiah.
Yeah, he's a kid that doesn't run that well. More of a zone type of corner. Has good size.
Yeah, he's not ranked that high. He's ranked 20th in his position.
He's a guy also that may actually get moved to safety. If you want to be critical of the Raiders, they need a lockdown. See, they took McCoy. So the kid from Cal, they're either going to use him at safety, in the slot. He might be a second corner, special teams. Big kid. He was physical. He had some moments at Cal, but he doesn't run as well as you'd like to see, and that's always a problem at the corner position.
Sixth round, they got Malik Benson out of Oregon, wide receiver.
Yeah, he's another one. He ran really well. He's really small. I don't even know if he weighs 190.
6 foot, right under 190, 189.
And
you called it.
They've added some weight onto him. He runs really well. He had some moments over the top with that Dante Moore where they'd run him on go routes.
Yeah.
When I look at the Raiders, you look at Bowers, you look at Genty, Mayer, the other tight end. I think we're going to be in a lot of 2 tight end sets. They're going to try to run the ball, and then maybe they'll take shots with like a kid like this. We didn't really get there were some people that thought the Raiders were going to take a top end receiver when they took the safety at the top of the second round.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of receivers in there that you could have taken. The Browns took a receiver from Boston College. 49ers took a receiver right at the top of the second round. There were some receivers there that some I thought the Raiders maybe going to take a shot at. They went for the safety. See, I think that's more of a spy tech pick. And it also tells you, I think they're going more with 2 tight ends. Yeah. See, the way to beat this Ravens defense in the NFL is to run on it. I've read reports where Sean McVay is seriously considering possibly using some 4 tight end.
Let's stay on the draft
formations this year with the Rams. So I think the Raiders are going to be.
We got to go through a lot of teams here. Let's go.
Yeah, but we don't have to go through everybody's draft.
Brandon
like the
Cleveland
Raiders draft.
Was the last pick, 7th round.
Who?
Brandon Cleveland, D tackle at NC State, 7th round pick.
Big kid,
6'3", like a run stuffer, maybe.
But that's
the Raiders need so much. They just need players.
Be an interior. It's not a bad pick to take a guy like him. We need guys that can stop. We didn't really do anything to address offensive tackle. Unless McCoy works out the corner position, and then I mentioned receiver. But overall, I liked the Raiders.
What grade would you give the Raiders?
Oh, I think you got to give them like a B+.
Wow.
A minus.
Nice.
So you're high on the Raiders.
At least a B.
Okay.
No, because you have, well, but let me say, with this caveat, that could go to if Mendoza works out and he's even Jared Goff. Now you have A plus, and none of the other picks work.
If he's a franchise quarterback,
I'm not as
he
convinced.
won.
I think Mendoza's more of a 50-50 just because I've seen so much of this. And he doesn't have any of the traits that I look for physically other than the size where you can start going past the 50-50 mark. But Mendoza works, they're off the charts.
So second pick of the draft, they got Bailey out of Tech. The Jets got him.
Bailey is one. There's a couple first round picks that I'm going to be all over. And I love this pick. And the reason is I don't love the Jets, so you always worry about that. But Bailey's a pass rush guy. He's got the moves. He's got 34-inch arms.
6'3", 251.
He's a little undersized. That's my only knock on him.
The biggest thing I always look at.
He's gotten sacks everywhere he's been.
He's produced.
He's a smart kid. What the Jets are saying with this, because the other choice they were looking at was Arvell Reese. And Bailey's a safer pick than Reese. Bailey's a true edge pass rush guy, and he's produced. The Jets had to go with him. They needed a safe pick. There was no quarterback really worthy of the pick unless you were in on Simpson, which other than the Rams, nobody else was. Yeah. So they needed to take a pick, and they went pass rush. You know, he's undersized. I do have some questions how he's going to hold up against the run because of that. It is the Jets. But just in terms of skill set, being a bona fide pass rush guy going at number 2. Now, is he like Myles Garrett with Cleveland? No, he's not that good. This draft, the talent just wasn't there in this draft. So you got to make do with what's there, and that's what the Jets did.
And you saw this in the draft. When the team saw somebody they liked, they kind of would jump up and go take them because they're like, we don't,
it is what it is.
It's not that great of a draft.
This kid was the one kid, he's a pass rush guy. He's a pass rush guy. The production's been there. The arm link's there. And we're going on about the 251. At 6'4", you would think he's going to get up to 260, 265. Sure. And let me say, we don't have to go through the Jets' picks, but I do like what they did throughout the draft.
In the 5th round?
Well, that's a developmental quarterback. The Jets they're going to go with
you like Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon?
What they did with him, the Hall kid, and then the Cooper kid, the receiver, they have offensive pieces. And
Cooper's
don't forget their 2 offensive tackles are 2 former first-round draft picks.
Mendoza a lot.
And also Sarrett also. That's another thing about Mendoza. He got a lot of help from his receivers at Indiana. I do like what the Jets did. They're not going to win anything this year, but they now have an offense there. If they do get their quarterback next year, they got the back, they took the tight end, the 2 offensive tackles, Cooper the receiver. Everything's there to plug a quarterback. Say the Jets do get that Dante
Who's their
Moore
offensive
kid.
coordinator?
I don't know. I have no confidence in the Jets organization.
It's probably the worst in the NFL.
But if you look at if they could get the right quarterback,
he fell asleep at
the
combine.
What?
Aaron Glenn fell asleep. When they cut away, the coach is in the booth watching the combine. He was asleep.
Yeah, but John Ross, that combine, it's all on tape.
I know. It was just funny. It was just
the combine.
It's a bad look.
It's a small
it was just
piece.
funny.
It does. It's like when you
the combine is insanely boring.
Anybody who's the face of your organization,
and you're right.
Asleep.
You could just watch.
Yeah.
It just looks bad when the head coach falls asleep on live TV.
As soon as Bailey ran
he was asleep the whole season.
Bailey ran a 4.5.
Okay, what do you give the Jets grade?
Again, I'll give them B plus A minus with the idea that they now have an offensive. The structure is there. They have 3 number 1s next year to go get a quarterback.
Wow.
They find the right quarterback and plug it in.
Well, the pre-pick that I already see them having is taking Arch Manning. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Which he was supposed to go number 1 in this draft, so we'll see what Arch does
and Dante Moore are the two
names.
1 and 1A.
Yeah. I do think Moore goes number 1. They had Moore going 1, and they had Arch going 3.
Well,
and they had Jeremiah Smith going 2. Okay, next pick is the Arizona Cardinals. Jeremiah Love, Fernando's our other person on the show, he's his favorite player in the draft was Jeremiah Love.
Love is
a lot of people love
is a great
this
football
draft.
player.
Yeah.
Great football player.
But running back, you know.
The problem that I have with Arizona is, and you can see they themselves even knew this because with their second round pick, they took a guard named Chase Basantes. Arizona doesn't have the structure. Who's their quarterback?
Who's their quarterback this year?
Your guess is as good right now. The guy who Belichick had in New England,
Jacoby Brissett.
Brissett.
Good luck to you.
They have the Harrison kid at receiver. Love again. I think Arizona thinks they're going to get their quarterback next year. So with Love and Harrison,
that was such a bad shot.
They've got offensive skill people there for them. I do think you can make a case. Jeremiah Love is the best football player.
Do you have the rest
in this draft?
Do you have the rest of the picks?
But
from the Cardinals,
no.
The Cardinals overall, I don't know as that's who I would have taken. They could have used pass rush.
Well, I think Love could be great. He probably will be good.
So Cardinals got Beck, 3rd round.
Yes.
That's their QB.
You feel good with him
at
quarterback?
No, Jacoby.
I feel like you jinxed him because you were high on him, and then like every killer play to Miami season, it was Beck making the throw. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it was funny.
When they're winning, he looks great. Yeah. Whenever you need him to make a play, he turns the ball.
Bad.
We called it live on the show.
Jacoby Brissett and Beck are going to have a battle. Who knows who will win that? I've also heard Jacoby Brissett wants to be paid more, and the Cardinals are kind of balking at that. So I don't know. Obviously they took Beck for a reason. Personally, I don't think Carson Beck is a starting NFL quarterback.
Not a chance.
I wouldn't say.
I don't think
again.
he's
I never say.
They talk about processing.
You got to understand now.
Can't process anything.
No, and he's also got kind of a pop gun arm.
He's not
which has already had a major elbow surgery.
Horrible surgery.
But always keep this in mind. Brock Purdy, who's maybe 6 feet tall,
he knows where to go with the football though,
and has a pot in the right system with the way the rules are in the league. You get the right coach. You put players around the guy. See, this is what the Rams are banking on with the Simpson kid. A guy like that, you can win with a guy like that. So, Beck.
What grade would you give the Cardinals, though?
I would probably give them like a C, not because of Love. Love's a great football player, but they need offensive line. You got to build your football team. Now, they took the Basante kid, a guard, at number 2.
Yeah.
And that's one of the pieces. But they could have took the guy that the Giants took at 10. They need an offensive tackle. Had they even taken Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles, the Cardinals need so many good football players. And let me tell you this about Love.
Who's the Cardinals coach?
Do you know how much money Love is guaranteed over the next 5 years, 4 years?
No, what?
$54 million.
That's a lot to put in a running back.
I'm not paying a running back that
tough.
kind of money. And even if he does, here's the problem. Say he turns out to be Barry Sanders, which I doubt he will, but say he does. Then you get 5 years in. Then you got to decide, do you want to pay him again? How much are you going to invest in the running back position? It doesn't work. Taking running backs that high, the way the league, what they do.
Average years length of career in the NFL is 2.5 years, I think.
I said this
running back
is
probably even less.
When the Detroit Lions took Gibbs at 12. The Atlanta Falcons took Robinson at 8.
Yeah,
Have either one of those organizations won a Super Bowl?
No.
What's the point?
So you give them like a C? Okay.
Yeah.
Next pick, Jesiah?
4th pick, the Titans got Tate out of Ohio State University.
I was kind of shocked by that.
I'm not shocked by the pick. A lot of people had him as the number 1 receiver in the draft.
And they needed a wide receiver.
But they need somebody to help the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're trying to take last year's number 1 and make him viable, and they put him out there with nothing this year.
Nothing.
So I wasn't shocked.
He was making throws that like Jalen Hurts can't make.
The kid in Tennessee showed me something last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work because Tennessee's such a bad organization. Let's put it this way. I would have felt better had they maybe taken an offensive lineman that's going to protect the kid. But I understand why they took a receiver.
I hope that's the dagger.
Generally, these Ohio State receivers work out pretty good. Now that Marvin Harrison with the Cardinals,
I agree.
It's been kind of shaky. The guy that's with Seattle just got paid $160 million.
I will defend Harrison a little bit. He
They
hasn't
had
had the best
Kyler
quarterback
Murray.
yet.
Yeah,
Well,
they had Murray.
let's see
throwing
what
the
Kyler
ball.
Murray does with Minnesota this year, and then we'll talk
Him
about.
and JJ, they could run like a dual threat offense.
Well, we'll see.
2 quarterbacks in the back. Sorry.
My problem with Tennessee is, though, again, there's so many needs on that football team. Now, Robert Saleh went out and brought in pass rush from the Jets.
and he's
They
the new
got the Johnson kid in a trade.
He's the new Soleil.
Yes, the new Tennessee coach. And he also made a trade for a D tackle from the Jets, that kind of a big fat kid from Texas. The feeling I'm getting at.
Great big fat person.
Yes, Tivandre Baker or something his name is.
He's from Texas. I mean,
My feeling with
good down there.
with Tennessee is they think Saleh can take lemons and make lemonade on defense, and they want to get
He's
the
a good defensive coach.
Well, they want to get the offense going for that kid they took number 1 overall, and that's the Tate pick. Tate was productive. He always was a number 2 receiver at Ohio State. The only major red flag I saw on him, the automated clock had him at well over 4.5 at the combine. Now, people hand timing him had him at 4.4, and Tennessee was one of those teams.
Yeah, Tate didn't run well.
Well, Tennessee thinks he can. They hand timed him at 4.4. They think there was something wrong with the clock.
I didn't like Tate going
Also,
forward.
let me talk about
He
this.
disappeared in games.
Let me say this about Tate too. I don't know as he is a true number 1.
I think he's a 2.
If he can't run well enough,
Yeah.
and then he also didn't do a lot run after catch.
He dots the eye there.
So
no pun intended with Ohio
there's
State.
risk there with that pick. The other pick they could have taken was the receiver, Arizona. I can't think of what his name is.
Jordan Tyson out of
Yes.
ASU.
He's got injury concerns, off the field issues. I don't know as I would have taken him at 4 either.
Let me say this.
Tate was the safer of
Let me
those
cut
2
you off
picks,
here, Dad.
and that's why Tennessee did
Let me
it.
cut you off here. I like the Singleton pick that the Titans took. Nicholas Singleton, running back. I like him as a pick for a later round.
Yeah.
And I actually like the center they took out of Indiana, Pat Coogan, in the 6th round. He's not a bad football player. He's not bad.
It's going to be dicey whether he.
I mean, he's a 6th round pick.
Physically, he's very questionable.
What grade, Ross?
What would you give the
the
Titans?
Like a C plus, because again,
There's a lot of holes to fill.
well, but you win football games up front. So when you're high in the draft, if you can't get the quarterback, where you immediately should go to is O-line or pass rush, those 2 positions. And Tennessee could have done that.
Very
at 4.
rarely.
They could have gotten a very good tackle at 4, or they could have also gotten pass rush guys at 4. That Bain kid slipped all the way to 15 to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
He would have been he'd be the Tennessee's best pass rush guy.
Easily.
Now, they got a guy named Jermaine Johnson. They traded with the Jets. The Jets took Johnson at like 25, 26 in the Hutch draft.
Yeah.
Maybe Saleh will turn him into their pass rush
Let me just
guy.
say this to end the Tennessee thing here. You don't usually see rookie wide receivers come in and just take over your team. Randy Moss was amazing, but he had a good
Randy
core
Moss
with him.
went in the 20s.
No, I know, but he had a good quarterback. He had Chris Carter. They had a team there.
There have been receivers. The Chase kid was Cincinnati. The Cardinals
Jamar
years
Chase, yeah.
ago took that guy first.
But they're so
Hall of
dependent on the
Famer.
quarterback getting him the ball. Okay,
And the offensive line
now
block.
this team,
C plus, you said, Ross?
C plus.
now this team we want to highlight for one of our fans. Shout out to Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod.
A-Rod.
New York Giants, number 5, take
Reese. Avril Reese. Which is Angel Reese's brother, right?
no.
Reese is a guy. There are people trying to compare him.
6'4", 241.
What's the name of the guy the Packers made the trade for? The pass rush guy.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. People want to make that comparison because Micah Parsons played middle linebacker. See, I don't make that comparison. Micah Parsons, and I remember I went back to his high school tape because at Penn State he wasn't very good as a middle linebacker.
Totally misused, though.
I looked at his high school tape. He was they listed him at 6'3", 245, hand on the ground, wide side defensive end pass rush guy, and he was very good at that. What James Franklin did, he took him and tried to turn him into a middle linebacker. Now, why he did that, I have no idea. And that, to this day, that's still what Micah Parsons is. Now, you look at the Reese kid, he's always been an off-the-ball linebacker. He's only got 32-inch arms. He doesn't have a pass rush arsenal. How he got to the quarterback at Ohio State was they schemed him. Mm-hmm. Matt Patricia would line him up behind a defensive lineman and then bring him on a blitz, sometimes with a safety, sometimes with downs.
Giants could do that, though.
Now, you could still do that in the pros. Yeah, but don't think you're getting John Ross, Micah Parsons.
No,
I put him out on the edge.
Well, let me say this.
And you go get the quarterback. That isn't what Arvell Reese is.
Like how we were talking about Tate is not a number one. When you draft a pass rush guy 5, he should be able to get to the quarterback.
What I'm trying to tell you.
Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions don't scheme for him. They just throw him out there and he does what he does.
NFL people,
Crosby does what he does.
A lot of NFL people.
Don't overtalk.
A lot of NFL people viewed Reese as an off-the-ball linebacker, which is the problem Sonny Styles runs into at 5. We can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Do you want to take an off-the-ball linebacker in the top 5 picks in the league? Now, let me say this.
Who should the Giants have drafted here? You think they should have got Styles instead?
He thinks Styles.
No, Styles fell out of the top 10 altogether. Because
he went 7.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm confusing him with Downs. Let me say this about Reese, and this is what's going to be interesting about the Giants. Giants already have the Burns kid, the pass rush guy. They got Thibodeau. They took the Abdul Carter from Penn State. They got 3 pass rush guys. So I think what John Ross just said, I think the Giants are going to game with Reese. I think he's going to be their off-the-ball linebacker. Then they're going to blitz him.
Harbaugh's going to get something out of it.
They're going to blitz him. And in that role, which is kind of the role he played at Ohio State, I think there's a chance for real success. Now, let me also say this about Reese, too. And I specifically looked at his tape. He quit playing the last 7 games of the season.
I don't even remember him on the field.
And you can see it on tape. He's trying to protect himself to stay healthy for the draft. There's some real concerns with him. I do think with John Harbaugh, and I think if they use him the way I outlined, off-the-ball linebacker, blitzing, even as an off-the-ball linebacker, though, he doesn't have the best instincts. He's a step slow. That kid is not really a great football player. He's a great athlete. It's always interesting with those guys. Like I told John Ross on the phone the other day, is he going to turn out to be a jack of all trades, master of none? Because so many of those types, that's how they turn out.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want at number 5.
This pick, though, Francis Muanga, I think he's a good player.
He's a good player, and he's going to be good at right tackle or guard. They're going to try him at right tackle. See, I think Arizona or Tennessee could have taken him at 3 or 4, and I would have been much more happy with him. Let me put the caveat out there about him, though. Bulging disc in the back.
Wow.
And the reports on him is there are some teams that want him to get that done now. Let's just get it done now, take the 3 months. The Giants aren't going to do that. And he's fine right now. But again, you're taking a guy at 10 already before he even gets in the league, has a bulging disc. That's a red flag. He's a good football player.
What do you give the Giants?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm going to give him it's a B. It could go either way, though. That could, like if Reese turns out to be a dog, he doesn't really have a position. And if, say, the disc, then they just went to an F with the tackle. It could go all the way to A+.
Let me cut you off here. One disclaimer with all these grades. Every year in the first round, there's always the first-round pick guy who blows his knee out in training camp, and you can kind of he's probably a bust. So that's just the nature of the sport.
So a guy coming in already with a bulging disc, or like we talked about the Raiders guy.
That's scary.
These guys are already on borrowed time. Now the Raiders getting their guy in round 4, and the Giants going with number 10 in the draft. That's where you start getting into this risk management and how you look at things.
NBA Cavs and Raptors are going to overtime. So obviously, if the Raptors lose, that series is over.
Raptors are still without their point guard. For them to even be in the series, It's
impressive.
lower the Cavaliers.
I don't think
on my list.
Yeah, but even
James Harden's
Cleveland
been playing-
going out last year, and I know they picked up Harden,
Harden's the best playoff
but
player
Cleveland
ever.
going out in the second round last year.
He's the closer.
Cleveland's got issues. These teams, it's OK City and San Antonio. The rest of it doesn't really matter.
What's the next team in first round draft pick?
Kansas City moved up to 6.
They
Now-
got Mansour
Yes.
Delane from LSU cornerback.
Now, this is the corner that was in competition with the kid that the Raiders took. These were the 2 top corners. Now, this kid started out at Virginia Tech, transferred to LSU. He's got the measurables.
He's a big corner.
His tape is really good.
What do he run?
He's sub 4.5.
Okay.
There's no questions on.
I don't like guys in the back 7 that you got to run under. You got to be 4.4.
Yeah. The Chiefs traded up for him because they traded their number 1 corner to the Rams, McDuffie. Yep. They need a corner.
Well,
so
they also trade him so they could sign.
Yeah, well, the Rams
Walker.
paid. But here's the thing with the Chiefs: you had an All-Pro corner. Now you got to see how it's going to work out with this kid, because that's what you're doing. You're trading the one kid you knew what you had. He's made All-Pro. He's getting paid. Let me say this about McDuffie. I wasn't as big on him. I think the Rams overpaid a little bit for him.
He's the highest paid.
Yeah, he's not a true number
ever,
1.
right?
He's actually better in the slot, and that's why the Chiefs.
I thought I read that he's the highest paid cornerback ever.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, right now
Jesus.
that's going to change though, because Christian Gonzalez and Stingley. There's some corners coming through the
He's
pipe.
just of the time.
Yes, that are going to be, and they're going to surpass his paycheck.
Like, wasn't Goff the highest paid quarterback for a month?
The Patriots may pay Gonzalez $40 million a month as a corner, and the other guy can't think of.
Do you think? So you think this is a good pick by old Andy Reid?
The Chiefs had to do this. They had to go get him because New Orleans at 9, and I forget who's at 8. Either one of those teams were going to take a corner.
Saints at 8, and then Browns at 9.
Yeah, so Browns and Saints were possibly a corner.
And let's be honest,
somebody at 7 also could have taken it.
I know this show, there's a lot of hate for the Chiefs because we're Raider fans, but Andy Reid's one of the best drafters of all time.
Yeah, the Chiefs
great...
had to make this pick. Now, they did give up a 3 and a 5 in this year's draft, so I didn't look at that as being
great.
That's not a great
They
lot.
took Garrett Nussmeier in the 7th round. That was for his dad.
Do not laugh at that pick.
I know. He'll turn into Mahomes.
He's not going to turn into Mahomes.
I know. No, he'll get something out of him.
John, you got...
Andy Reid's great with quarterbacks.
In general, I've been very negative about Brock Purdy because of what he is, and I do think it's questionable about winning a Super Bowl.
No, yeah. Let me just say this. I don't think the range of Mendoza going number 1 and Nussmeier going 7th round, it's not that far of a gap.
There's not that much gap.
It's not that crazy.
I know Raiders fans will look
want
at
to hear
me
that,
but there's not. Even Carson Beck, all these guys.
That's great.
They've changed the rules in the league. It's easier to throw the football.
Yeah.
And if you have a coach, if it's Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, and you got some skilled players.
They can coach that guy up.
That guy, I'm telling you, these guys can come out there. I'm not saying they're going to be Tom Brady, but you can win with these guys.
Anybody else? I mean, they took they had their second first round pick, Peter Woods, defensive tackle.
That one I'm not as high on. He's
a little light, 6'2", 298.
He's a penetrator guy, and it turns out he's got short arms.
He penetrates.
He does have a lot of power. Not very productive at Clemson. He was a guy going into this last season everybody had in the top 10. And after the year he had at the Clemson, he fell all the way to 29. And I suspect had the Chiefs not taken him, he would have fallen out of the first round. The Chiefs need somebody, though. See, this is a draft where the Chiefs, things are finally catching up with the Chiefs. They had to take guys. Mansour, I think, is going to work out. Woods could work out. They'll put him in with the big D tackle they already have, Jones.
They got our Mason Thomas.
Undersized pass rush guy out of Oklahoma. His workout numbers aren't any good, but when you watch him in the game, he's got a good get-off. He anticipates the snap count really well.
Okay.
And he was very productive at Oklahoma in terms of sacks. He's very undersized, though. He's a 245-pound man. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to line him up out on the edge. You're going to have to use him as a situational pass rush guy, and hopefully he's only 6'1", so I don't know how much more weight he's going to be able to gain. I don't know if he's ever going to become a true edge player.
What about Cyrus Allen, wide receiver out of Cincy?
Yeah, a lot of people liked him. He ran well, 4.3. I liked the Chiefs draft, but every year I always say that. And then you look at some of these past couple years, they took the kid out of Texas, the speed guy. He hasn't worked out. The receiver, Rashee Rice, they took him in the second round. He's caused problems. They took a pass rush guy out of Kansas State a couple years ago. I would probably give the Chiefs a B overall because they did. They went out and got they had to get a corner. They had to get a D tackle. They needed a pass rush guy.
The boxes
they needed a receiver. They got all those positions. Now the question will be, how are these guys going to work out? That's what we'll see. And the only one I'm real confident in is Mansour, the corner. And I do like the kid from Oklahoma as a pass rush guy. The other two guys are more hit and miss. That kid from Clemson, if the light's either going to go on for him and he's going to be the player he looks like he should be, and if that's the case, the Chiefs got a steal at the back of the second round, or he's going to be out of the league in a couple years because his final year at Clemson, he took I hate to say this, but I'm seeing guys just they're protecting themselves, trying not to get hurt. Yeah, but that's bad.
Yeah,
if
you can't
if
play
you're
football
doing
that
that,
way.
Let's move on here. What do you give the Chiefs grade?
B.
B. Okay.
All right, seventh pick. The Commanders picked Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State.
He's probably my favorite Ohio State player in this draft. And I like Downs better. My only thing I don't like about Downs is the 40 time.
No. Styles is the one Ohio State of the four guys that went in the first round. He checks all the boxes. The production was there. The production, well, he's an off-the-ball linebacker, though, and that's all he is. He's not going to be an edge guy.
It's a devalue.
So see, you got to be, I was the Cardinals taking the running back, and now Washington getting this off the ball linebacker. If that's all the guy is, well, let me give you an example of the problem this presents. The Detroit Lions took Jack Campbell at number 18, and he's been wonderful. Did he make All-Pro last year, or just make the Pro?
I mean, he's good.
Yeah. Here's the problem. You know how much the Lions have to pay him if they want to franchise tag him? Something like $25 million. Because at the linebacker position, which is all he is, he's grouped in with the pass rush guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't pay an off-the-ball linebacker $25 million.
It's like paying a running back.
Yeah, you can't pay a running back. So when you draft those guys early, I tell people beware. Even if you don't win a Super Bowl with that kid on his rookie deal, you probably aren't going to be able to afford him on the back end. What did you do?
What grade do you give the Commanders for the draft overall?
Having said all that, I don't blame. They need Bobby Wagner, their middle linebacker. He's done.
He's 100 years
and
old.
I do think Styles is going to play in the league 10 years. I just don't know if it's going to be with Washington. There's also a chance Styles does develop into more of a pass rush guy. He ran sub 4.5. He's 6'5". He actually weighs
almost 250.
He weighs more than Reese does, the other guy. And he has longer arms.
I like the running back that the Commanders took, Katron Allen, in the 5th round. He's not bad.
For a 5th round pick, undersized back.
But he's produced.
The Penn State kids, I felt both those backs.
Mishandled, I thought.
I felt both those backs should have went higher in the draft.
I thought they were better than what Franklin did with them.
Yes,
personally.
They got screwed over by the Penn State collapse. And they may end up being better.
No, they're not bad backs.
They may be better than that Washington
If you saw
kid.
them, like if Harbaugh had them in his run, those guys would have put up some yards. Or like Nick
they're
Saban,
good
like these
backs.
good
They're
teams.
Western Pennsylvania kids. No, they're good running backs.
What grade do you give the Commanders?
Again, CC plus. It's not Washington's fault. They only could. Sonny Styles was the best guy on the board. Right there. Now he was, and you got to take him. Yeah. But by position. Good luck.
Give him
if I was
B minus,
a C plus. The other thing Washington possibly could have done, because we're going to be coming up on this, they could have taken an offensive tackle, but see, they kind of painted themselves into a corner with that because they paid Laramie Tunsil last year to be their left tackle, and then they drafted the Connerly kid out of Oregon last year, late first, second round. They feel like they already have their offensive tackles. The other thing they could have done is maybe taken Bain, the pass rush guy. We're going to get more to Bain later, but they could have done that.
Next pick, Saints got Jordan Tyson, which we said earlier, out of the ASU, wide receiver.
See, they going on about quarterbacks, do you know what round Tyler Schlau went in the draft last year?
No.
Second round.
Oof.
And he may be the answer in the Saints. In fact, to this point, he looks like the answer. Now, he's a kid who actually had some physical attributes. He was 6'5". That's what they got the kid, Olive, out of Ohio State. You take this kid now, Olave. You give him 2 receivers. They're trying to build around their quarterback.
Yeah.
They got the Banks kid and the other kid out of Oregon State. They have their 2 offensive tackles. They have Cesar Ruiz from Michigan is on the interior of the offensive line.
Caesar.
They got Kamara running back. You know, the Saints, you have, who's their head coach? Boise State.
I can't remember his name. 1 second.
The lefty out of Boise State, back up with Dallas. He was on the line.
Oh, God. Undersized, no arm, but smart.
They have an offensive head coach. What I would worry about with the Saints is defensively.
Yeah.
And see, this is where Mansour came in, or possibly looking at a guy like Bain or Styles, if he had been there. But they went on. They want to see what they got with Tyler Schlau, and I don't have a problem with that.
I think I read the last 5 weeks he had more running.
Oh yeah, no, the receiver, if he's healthy, and we just want to play football, he's better than Tate that went at 4.
Yeah,
but he's had all kinds of injury problems. He's got off the field problems. He's going to be a classic. He's either going to make it big, or he's going to be a real problem. Whereas, see, Tate is the safer of the 2 picks.
I like the Saints pick Oscar Delp, the tight end at Georgia.
That's
He's
another
good football player.
Another player.
He's good
to put around Tyler Schlau. Now you got to, and let me say this about Delp. Everybody thinks he's just kind of a receiver.
No, he can block.
He's a better blocker than I thought he was. You know, Kirby's stupid at Georgia. They screwed that up. They should have got more out of Delp than what they got out of him. Again, I'm going to give the Saints a B, not because I love the players, because I have some real questions about little Tyson there. We'll see what I don't like off the field and injury concerns, but what they're trying to do, the idea behind it.
What did Tyson run?
Oh, he's a sub 4.5.
So he's a blazer.
He's 6'2". He can jump.
So he could be better than Tate.
When he's healthy, when he focuses on playing football and he's healthy, he was the best receiver in the draft. The Giants really looked at him at 5. The Rams were looking at him at 13. No. He was known. There's questions about him. Tennessee went with the safer pick.
If for their whole careers, it's going to be Tate versus Tyson.
Yeah,
well
compared,
every time.
Don't leave out this Malachi or Mackie Lemon.
Oh,
that
yes,
the Eagles got, because he may end up being the best one of the bunch by the time we're all done.
Steelers got screwed.
Yeah.
They were on the phone with Lemon, and then Philly came in and souped him up.
Yeah. So we got this coming.
So next pick, the Browns got Spencer Fano.
Let me say this about the Browns. I liked what the Browns did in their draft, just like I did last year. And what they did.
Who groomed Fano?
What?
Who prepared him? Who got him ready for the draft?
Groomed who?
The player, Fano.
Oh, yeah, Michigan's offensive line coach.
Yeah. He did a great job. To get a guy in the first round from Utah, it's amazing.
You know, we keep talking about the kid from Miami.
6'5", 311. He's a big boy.
We keep talking about the kid from Miami. Fanu also could have been in discussions to go earlier than 9 to the Browns. Now, Fano, as Jesiah just pointed out, he's got the height, weight. Arm length, he's a little short.
Is he left or right tackle?
Well, the Browns think he's a left tackle. Okay. They're going to leave him at left tackle. A lot of NFL people think he may end up being a guard. What I say with him, I don't think it matters. I think he's just a good offensive lineman, and he's going to really help you out.
He's a solid player.
Yes.
In this draft, with so many unknowns and just kind of... Oh, my God!
And keep in mind...
Hang on one second, Dad. Okay, so it was 10 seconds left in overtime. Cleveland had the ball up 1. They turned it over. The Raptors just hit a 3 that hit the back iron, bounced straight up in the air, and went through the rim.
The 3. R.J. Barrett in the regular season is awful.
They're up 2 with 1.2 to go.
But in the playoffs, R.J. Barrett is one of the main reasons that the Raptors are not only winning this game,
Could
obviously,
win
but
the series, baby.
probably winning the series. RJ Barrett, that ball went off the camera how high it bounced and went right back in. The Raptors with these lucky rim bounces dating back to Kawhi Leonard hitting that buzzer beater against the Sixers a few years ago. Wow. Look at this. Back rim. No way.
Wow.
But
Wild.
to get...
What do you think of the
to get Fano, and they remember, not only do you get Fano, but they got a 3 and a 5 from the Chiefs. So they got to move back in the draft, and they get the player that they
Casey Concepcion. I don't know how to say his last name.
He's a slot guy, run
Texas
after the catch guy. One thing about him, and again, you got to look at Cleveland, who's also got real quarterback problems. The reports I'm hearing is Deshaun Watson may be their starter this year. They're saying he's going to be the starter. This Concepcion kid,
Shiloh Sanders told the reporter to go get a sandwich because he's not beaten out.
I didn't even know Shiloh was still in the league.
Yeah, Shador's brother.
Concepcion is a guy you can throw the ball to quickly, let him catch it and do something with it.
Kind of like an Amon-Ra.
But it's to get him, and then they got Boston. Was it Boston in the second round?
Denzel Boston, receiver out of Washington. He's a good player. He's good.
The big receiver. I like what the Browns made a lot of their. Now again, they don't have their quarterback right now, as far as we know.
They're building a team there, though.
But
D-line, offensive line.
Yep. They're
Cleveland Cavaliers missed. Mobley missed a kind of a crazy 3, Game 7. NBA is going to be happy. Every series is going 7.
Yeah. Also, Lakers are up 35-19, middle of the second quarter.
Does Udoka get fired if they lose this game?
100%.
Okay.
I think they get fired even if it goes to 7.
Who
the Rockets.
The Houston Rockets head coach.
Yeah. He gets fired. Rockets have like the 6 best players after LeBron James, and
James,
and they can't win a series. Like
this game's not over yet, though.
It's not over.
If you learn anything from the previous game we watched, these games aren't over.
It's bad offense.
LeBron does have a tremendous record though in closeout situations. He usually closes you out. Okay, so overall,
offensive scheme.
What do you give the Browns overall?
I would give them a B+.
Oh, and they also got Justin Jefferson.
Not the real one.
Yeah. Well, is a real one,
know,
but not the one from the Vikings. They got the linebacker out of Alabama. Is he anything, Ross?
Probably a solid player.
He didn't do a lot at Bama. He was highly regarded coming
Nick
out
Saban
of high school. He's going special teams is going to be his way in. Cleveland took that linebacker from UCLA last year, Schweitzer or whatever his name is, won the Rookie of the Year. Good. So Cleveland's pretty good at linebacker. Cleveland, if they could get a quarterback, they're a team that's starting to get in position.
Their D-line is unbelievable. I mean,
as long as you have Myles Garrett. And then they
Mason
got
Graham.
Ward at corner. Now you got the Schweitzer at linebacker. Mason Graham helps.
They might win that division. I don't know if the Steelers will come back.
Who's the quarterback?
Well, it's funny.
Like
John Ross and I, in that division, pick a team. Because I can make a case for any one of them. And the AFC, Cleveland won't win that division because they don't have a quarterback. But Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, if Rodgers comes back, and then, of course, Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, it's definitely a 3-team race between, again, with Rodgers. Will he come back with Pittsburgh? Well, Pittsburgh won it last year.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion, though, Aaron Rodgers is up to some reindeer games. I don't think it's a done deal. He's coming back.
The 10th pick was the Giants' second-round pick. A while ago, we already went over that. Yeah. Don't have to talk about 11, this was obviously, I thought...
Great pick.
A good pick. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys. Only negative I have is his 40, but I thought he was the best player on Ohio State's team last year.
I know some Cowboys fans, and of course, they're going to hype up anybody that they draft. But
of course.
Early on in the draft, they wanted Downs from the jump. And it looks like he dropped there for a reason. It worked out for them.
Well, you watch the tape of Downs, and John Ross has his concerns. I didn't realize Downs does not run well.
No, that's not good.
That's a problem because now, can he help you out in the box? There's no doubt about it. He's a great tackler. He's a physical guy. He can blitz. But you take him, the Cowboys aren't going to be able to leave him in single coverage.
Yeah.
That tight end that the Jets took at 16 runs a 4.3 40. So if you got Downs, I can't even put him on a tight end like that.
Yeah.
No, but, Downs fell out of the top 10. It's more than just he's a safety. He's an in-the-box safety. He's not a guy you can play in the back end. Like
he's like the running back on defense. It's not a value pick either.
Well, like if you gave him to Seattle, they'll use him in the slot. They'll bring him up on the line.
Yeah, but that's McDonald using him.
But the thing about that, too, is you can get a guy like that in the 4th, 5th round.
Now,
and the Cowboys had to trade up. They gave up a little, not much, but they did give up to go get him.
I thought the Cowboys had a great, and it's not a biased pick. I thought it was a good pick to get Jesiah Barnum in the 3rd round.
That's a good pick.
He will get a pass rush.
He will, and they're going to use him. Do
not be shocked if he's better than Averill Reese in 5 years.
Let me say this.
Do not be shocked by
about him. He is closer. He's not Micah Parsons.
He's
closer to fitting Parsons' MO, which is this off-the-ball linebacker that can rush the quarterback. Barheim, the other thing about Barheim, too, was he was coached by some of those Ravens guys at Michigan. They'd given him a little bit in the pass rush. See, Averill Reese, you're starting from ground zero with him as a pass rusher. Barheim, I thought that was this is.
I wanted the Lions to get Barheim.
Yeah, they could have possibly taken him. I would have had a problem with that.
What about Malachi Lawrence, their mid-first round pick?
I like that pick too. He's an edge guy.
They're really going for a pass rush there.
Well,
and they got LT Overton.
Yeah. Where's Micah Parsons play? Overton is going to be a D tackle, John Ross. He's not a pass rush guy.
They list him as an edge, though.
No, he's going to go up. He's going to have to go up to 280 and be on the inside. But he does get pushed when they kick him inside as a D tackle.
I like it though. You're trying to get to the quarterback.
And he was a 7th round.
Yeah, he was 4th round pick.
Oh, that's a little high maybe. But anyways,
what did the Cowboys in the draft? They didn't have a 2nd round pick. They had no 5th round picks.
Trade.
They were making a trade. Well, the 6th rounder I think was to go up and get Downs.
What grade do you give them?
I would give them about a B-.
I'd give them a B+.
Because I like what they did do with some of their pass rush guys.
I like Downs and Barheim.
I don't think Downs is going to be the game changer that people think he's going to be. He's a good football player. My projection for him is a lot like that Brian Burns.
Will he return punts in the NFL or no?
Now, Matt Patricia claims Downs was the best punt returner.
No, he's great at that. No, he was great at that.
And that would be added value if he does
the Cowboys do that.
That would be added value with the guy. Typically, if he turns out to be a game changer as a safety, you don't have a guy like that back there returning punts.
Okay, the next pick here is Miami Dolphins, Caden Proctor. We got to see him up close and personal. He's a large man.
Shout out Billy.
Yeah, shout out Billy's team here. He's 6'6", 352.
Is he the biggest guy in this draft?
Yes. Or one of the biggest. There was a nose tackle from Kentucky that's 6'8", 352. He's a big boy. Kayla, this Proctor kid is huge. Now, I've read a report already. Miami's putting him at left guard. So he's not even playing left tackle.
That's probably better.
It probably is, but then you look at the picks. So you took this kid at 12.
Guard at 12. Yeah, it's kind of not great.
It's all there.
Miami doesn't know what they're doing.
Proctor has the feet, the size. Will he get in shape?
No, he's got all that, but is he going to do it?
What John Ross was going to touch on, like that game we watched him out, he was terrible.
I bring that game up because Alabama gave up
we had 8 sacks in the 3rd quarter. I remember leaning over to John Ross.
It was unbelievable.
Saying to him, when you get this many sacks, you generally don't lose the game.
And they didn't.
But I get why Miami took him.
Let's see who else they took.
Of all the offensive tackles in this draft, Proctor has more upside than the kid the Giants took and the kid the Cleveland took.
Yeah.
He could be.
But those guys are probably better linemen.
They're safer picks. Proctor could end up being a Hall of Fame left offensive. Physically, he should be. Will he be? We'll see.
Miami also took...
they also took Chris Johnson.
That's a great pick.
They also got Jacob Rodriguez.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
The Chiefs would have taken him had the Chiefs stayed at... had not gotten the corner, moved up to get the corner at 6. Instead of taking the D tackle that they ended up taking at Clemson, they would have took that kid out of San Diego.
They had 12 draft picks.
The Chiefs.
How do they have so many damn players?
The procured picks, which incidentally, that's how you want to go in the draft. Yeah. Is just get volume.
They was in the wrong
more
draft.
picks you have, you're going to hit on some of those picks, and it's all luck. It really is.
They got
that Johnson kid. He was 4'4", and he's physical. Now he low level of competition or lower at San Diego State,
Mountain West.
But a lot of people like him. It wasn't. There were some people thinking he was going to get into the first round. So, and the only thing that really held him back was level of competition. And he went to an SEC school because all the physical stuff is there. He's the right height, weight, 40 time. Hey, that's a good pick. But I actually like that pick better than the Proctor pick because if they were going to go offensive tackle, as we'll see here, or even if they were going to go guard, there were safer picks that are coming up here very shortly in the draft.
So what do you give the Dolphins overall?
C+ type grade, B-. And again, if Proctor becomes what they hope he is, then you'd have to, if he's a Hall of Fame left tackle, that's an A+ draft.
Next pick, the Rams. This is where they got Ty Simpson.
And here we go. This was the pick that got everybody going.
This is the controversial pick.
And, I've heard reports Sean McVay
he was not happy with the GM in the post
that's all
draft
bullshit.
interview.
That's all bullshit. The report I've read is him and Simpson spent at least 8 to 10 hours in a pre-draft meeting talking. They love each other. Sean McVay's got to keep Matthew Stafford happy, which you do that two ways. You got to pay Matthew Stafford, and you got to keep Matthew Stafford convinced this is your team. The other thing, Matthew Stafford is pissed because the Rams could have went receiver, Lemon.
Yep.
They could have went offensive tackle. They could have went tight end. They could have took the kid the Jets took. Any of those picks would have helped Stafford this year to win a Super Bowl. So when you see McVay acting irritated, that's a show. He put that on. It's Stafford's team. Stafford's a starter. The thing about Simpson, I'd tell everybody, and Sean McVay knows this better than me, Matthew Stafford's got a bulging disc in his back. He gets hurt. Whoever the Rams' backup is going to be out there. We got to win a football game. I think McVay really likes Simpson. To get to John Ross's point, also Les Snead, the Rams general manager,
his neighbors with
he's
Simpson's
buddy
family,
with Simpson's dad.
Yeah.
Family.
There's some home cooking going on there for sure. I mean, it's an NFL special.
Let me say this about the Simpson kid. When I watch his tape, when he was doing well at Alabama for the first 6-7 games of the season, and I'll even throw the Florida State tape out because I went and looked at that. And Bama got their ass kicked by Florida State. But one of the things I saw on that tape, Simpson kept competing in that game. They got their ass kicked. The team quit. Simpson never quit. He kept competing.
What I don't like about Simpson, I agree with you on that. He is small.
6'1", 211.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But again, I'm getting past my bias on that size thing. McVay will have him getting rid of the ball quick.
That's true.
They're going to have a slot receiver. They're going to try to run the ball. And it's going to be off of play action.
Stafford's not as big. He's 6'2".
Raiders fans are not going to want to hear this. There's a lot of people that don't want to hear this because everybody loves Mendoza.
It wouldn't shock me if he was better, yeah.
Definitely
him going with
it is a significant.
It's the Raiders. He's going to be better.
There's a significant chance Simpson ends up being a better NFL quarterback than Mendoza.
That's one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. That's a good.
It's a real possibility.
I need does. That was a Fernando pass. It's ridiculous. At Sports Complex underneath the basket.
God.
Now I would say this.
I think he's complaining on Marcus Smart for not getting the pass
about the pick, and I'm only going to give the Rams a C. And the reason I'm only going to give them a C is we're trying to win Super Bowls here, and Sean
this
McVay
does nothing
knows
to help
that.
them in the immediate, short term.
How's their second round pick, Max Clare, out of Ohio State?
Tight end out of Ohio State.
He's not bad.
And that I mentioned earlier, the Rams are now talking about going to 4 tight end sets. That explains that pick right there.
He's a little probably underrated.
He's more of an H-back type guy.
Ohio State doesn't use tight ends well, though, either.
Yeah.
And Ohio State, they don't.
Oh, they give the ball to the wide receiver every time, and they don't.
He's not bad though.
No, they may have drafted him a little early, but in this draft in the second round, they're like this guy from Michigan went in the second round. There was this run on tight ends in the second round that made no sense.
It was,
and the Rams may have kicked it off with this pick. And teams who wanted tight ends were like, well, we better go get it.
That does happen in the draft too. When one team kind of does something goofy, it kind of creates like a domino effect, and then all the idiots start just acting like idiots.
Now they could have had the kid from Oregon.
It sounds like
they could have had the kid. They could have had the kid from Oregon at 13 who runs a 4.340.
He's probably better.
Well, I can tell you what, he would have stretched defenses more than this Claire, the kid from Ohio State.
So you give the Rams a C? It's hard to give him a high grade.
Now, but what if Simpson comes out to be a franchise quarterback?
Of course.
If that happens, the Rams just got to steal
that changes everything.
Let's say Mendoza's franchise and Simpson is franchise.
Both happy. Yeah.
You'd still have the Rams got Simpson at 13.
Yeah. Next pick, the Ravens got, I can't pronounce this guy's first name, but Lone.
They call him Vega Ione, the guard. Yeah. And this gets to like what Miami was doing, and even a little bit with what Cleveland was doing with Fano, and even a little bit with what the Giants. If those three guys all turn out to be guards, this kid's a true guard, and he's really good.
6'4", 320.
He's really, despite the Penn State, this kid can play. The problem with him is guard is it for him. You're not going to be able to make a tackle out of him. So that's why
he could be another victim of James Franklin, too.
Seems like the whole team is a victim of James Franklin.
James Franklin's not much of a coach. I mean, he just isn't. Well, you can see, look at the players that are getting drafted, and they couldn't win.
They couldn't beat UCLA.
It wasn't that Penn State didn't have talent. There was talent.
Oh, 100%.
There's talent there.
What grade do you give the Ravens overall for the whole draft?
Well, no, you go through their rest because the pass rush guy fell to them in the second round out of Missouri. And he goes right after the guy the Lions took.
Here, 1 second. I'll get it.
I guarantee you the guy from Missouri is going to be a better pass rush guy than
Zion Young, edge rush.
Yeah.
Edge out of
That's a great pick.
They got Jacoby Lane, wide receiver.
That's a great
We saw him live.
pick.
Yeah. He's the real deal, just like Lemon is.
The Ravens had a good... And let me say this about the Ravens.
It's Sarrett, the wide
That's
receiver.
the other receiver from Indiana. That's a great pick.
He took he took the H-back tight end from Michigan, too, Hibner.
Let me say this about...
There's a Michigan connection with the Ravens.
No, but let me say this about the Ravens, though. The Ravens always do this. They just sit there. They don't make a bunch of trades. Let's just sit there and take the best player that comes our way.
I'm not saying this is a joke.
It works out for them.
Let me say this. They took Ryan Eckel, the punter from Michigan State. He's not bad.
No,
for a sixth-round pick, he's probably Michigan State's best player.
I'm going to give the Ravens like a B+, A-.
They also took,
but it's the whole draft.
They also took Rayshon Benny, D tackle, for a seventh-round pick.
That's for a seventh-round pick.
I like their draft.
There's value there. The Ravens coach knows all those Michigan
100%.
kids that he's taking. I'm telling you, they have a plan. They get value. The only one I can knock them on where you could say, did you taking a guard at 14? But he's the best player on the board at that point in the draft. So it's like what Washington did with Styles, and kind of what the Giants did with Arvell Reese, where you're picking.
This is the guy that dropped. Here's Bain going 15 to the Buccaneers. Shout out Frost. He's a fan of the Buccaneers. He might have got to seal the draft, right? Everyone loves Bain. I know you said early in the year that you're big on Bain.
There's two things with Bain's why he fell in the draft. He doesn't even have 31-inch arms, and it's funny because
T-Rex arms.
I was looking at tape of him today. His arm stops like right about here. I mean, he's got some really short arms. It's a problem. Now, he's been able to overcome it. The other thing that happened with him, and NFL teams knew about this, and I don't think it was as much of a problem, but it was still a problem for some teams. I can tell you, like the Detroit Lions would have never taken him. He was the driver of a car. He lost control of the car, and a young girl died. He was never charged. He doesn't drink alcohol, so they never did a workup on him. I don't know if he was high or on spice. They never did any blood work.
Spice.
Her family let it go. Yeah, but a lot of those guys from the southeast smoke that synthetic. Does that even show up on it? I think that beats the drug testing.
Yeah, it's not a drug technically.
Yeah, I think you can beat that. I don't know what went on there. I do know a 22-year-old girl ended up dead, and he was the driver.
These
and they originally charged him.
Shouldn't be driving cars at all. Every year there's one, right?
Well,
at least one.
Georgia has.
They
one
let
every
it
year.
drop.
Just Georgia alone.
So there were reasons why the kid, and I will tell you, and there are NFL scouts and front office people that will tell you, just for the fact that the kid's arms are that short,
It could be a problem.
there's going to be a play here and there that he's not going to make because he doesn't have the arm length. I still like the pick with Tampa Bay.
He produced, though,
They
too.
needed pass
Defense.
rush.
Yeah.
He's got
Anybody on defense.
He's got tremendous bend.
Yeah.
He can get really low to the ground. The other thing about him, unlike the Ohio State kids, none of whom showed up in big games.
He did show up, yeah.
In all Miami's big games,
It was
he's
him,
getting
yeah.
sacks. He's making plays.
Forcing fumbles.
The stage wasn't too big for him. He should have went in the top 10
Yeah,
picks.
I was shocked.
If
he didn't
that
go top 10.
receiver that the Saints took bombs out, they're going to be kicking themselves for not taking Bain.
Yeah.
Because the Saints need people.
What grade do you give the Buccaneers overall?
Well, just off him, I'd have to give him a B plus, at least a B, because to get him at 15. Now I don't.
Their whole draft, they got Jesiah Trotter, linebacker out of Missouri.
That's around early. He's a good run stopper.
In relation to Jeremiah Trotter?
Yes, and the other
Okay.
brother, he's in that lineage from Clemson. I like the kid, though. Tough kid. He's going to play a lot of football. They did take him around early, though. They could have got him around
They
late.
got Ted Hurst, wide receiver out of.
He's a lower division, one of the
Yeah.
the group of five. Was it Georgia State? Was he from?
Georgia
Yeah.
State, yep. Just
6'4", big kid, ran well. Going to have to develop against higher competition. But with Baker Mayfield, that wasn't a bad pick.
They got another Miami kid, Keontae Scott.
Kevontae Scott is going to slide into the slot for them nicely. I'm going to upgrade them to a B plus. What they did because
Bauer Sharp, Billy Schrouth.
Sharuth from Notre Dame,
Sharuth.
he's a guard. He's marginal. They get a B plus B out of me. That's not a bad draft. Now, Bain's got to stay out of trouble. I think he will, and I think he's going to be in the league for 10 years. If he's an edge guy, that's a B plus, A minus draft.
Well, no, if he's a top notch passer, he could be the best player in the draft.
Well, I don't ever see him getting 15, 20 sacks. A guy with that short arms. Shaq Barrett had a big year for them the year they won the Super Bowl, and he only had 31 or 32-inch arms. So we'll see what happens with Bain. They jumped at him when he fell that far. They were right there.
Next pick, which we already said, the Jets got Kenyon Sadiq,
Yep.
tight end out of Oregon. So now we'll go to the Lions. They got Blake Miller out of Clemson, offensive tackle.
This is one of those picks. It's a perfect fit. He was the best pure right tackle in this draft. Now, there's going to be a couple tackles go after him here at 19, and your
Freely.
Steelers took one at 21. But for what the Lions are trying to do, see, we have Penny Sewell. You can slide. Penny Sewell should have been at left tackle all along anyway. They should have got rid of Taylor Decker years ago. And then this kid, 53 or 54 starts, only missed 2 practices in his career, 34-inch arms. Much better athlete than you think. Based on his combine workout, I actually started to think the kid could possibly play some left tackle. Tough kid, no injury history.
Extremely durable, yeah.
Huge kid. For what the Lions are trying to do, you could have Sewell and him for the next 5 years as your tackle.
You could also tell on the camera, his family, he wanted to go play for Campbell.
Some of these picks, but some of these picks, they just fit.
Yeah.
Like that kid the Jets took at second. He's a pass rush guy. The Jets need pass rush. He's the best pass rush guy in the draft. Why wouldn't you take that guy?
John, you had a rant about you joining back on the Lions fandom because of their draft. So what is your assessment of that?
He has a higher draft rating.
Well, I'm an unhorribly biased Michigan fan. They took Derek Moore, which for some reason Brad Holmes just doesn't want to take pass rush guys. I was shocked they took Derek Moore. I think he's not, I don't think he's going to be a 10 sack a year guy, but he's certainly
He had
10 sacks last year at Michigan.
Guys with 10 sacks.
And he had almost 10 tackles for
he
loss.
also had a 17% pass rush win rate, which was one of the highest in the Big Ten.
He's going to help Aiden Hutchinson, which he hasn't had.
Traded up to get him.
Yes, they did. That's what I don't like about that. But I can't say he's a good player.
And then they got another Michigan alum.
Jimmy Rolder.
Jimmy Rolder. Now, if you listen to Detroit radio, Jimmy Rolder is the second coming of Dick Butkus. I love him. He's an inside linebacker. he's not bad. I think he serves a purpose. He's better than Rodrigo, probably. He's bigger. He's a good team guy. I think he'll fit Campbell and all they're trying to do. He'll be good against the run. He actually showed, getting picks. He had a couple games where he got sacks, forced some fumbles. If you watch the Michigan State game, he did everything in the game. But again, is he going to change our team? No, but he's a good, solid player.
So what draft grade would you give your Lions, John?
I'd give it a B+.
Ross?
Okay. The Moore kid, power rush guy. He was really good.
I like the corner, too, from Arizona State.
That's really...
Abney.
This is where I'm going to... Moore uses his upper body strength.
Doesn't have a lot of moves.
And his arm length. That's going to be hard in the NFL. They took him around early, and they traded a fourth rounder, which in this draft, I wouldn't have done that. They could have stayed right there and got him at 18 in the second round. They never should have traded.
They probably got word another team was going to
draft
him.
Who did Baltimore take? Baltimore took the young kid right
Holmes,
behind
let me say
Moore,
this, Dad.
And Young's better than Moore.
Brad Holmes does do this for whatever the reason. He likes to give
Brad
up picks.
Holmes was sold on him, so he made the move.
He likes to give up value, and he trades up. Yeah. And it's like, the guy might be good, but he just gave up the back end of his draft.
There's also a guy named Cassius Howell who went in the second round that's probably going to be more of a sack artist than Moore. Rolder went a round early as well. So they drafted those two guys a little high. They're good players. They will help the Detroit Lions. The guy I like was the corner that they got in the fifth round.
And we need corner too. We're so
he's
bad
going to be a
Yeah.
slot guy, but this guy's a good football player.
Grabbing people out of free agency to
I know,
play
literally
corner.
people off the street to
Yeah.
play defensive back.
This
Y'all
guy
were walking up and down.
This guy won't be an outside. This guy won't
literally just pulling.
Are you
people.
able to run?
Yeah.
This guy won't be an outside corner, but he will play in the slot.
What do you give the draft for Lions?
And then also they got a punt returner with Law.
Kendrick Law, receiver.
And then they took
Kentucky.
2 Aaron Donald wannabes with the fifth,
who
sixth
probably
round.
won't amount to much, but
I would give the Lions like a B overall.
okay.
Now, if Miller is a 10-year right offensive tackle, you've got to take that grade way up. Or like if this corner, the slot corner in the fifth round, if he sticks,
Abney.
those two, that would put you in a B plus, A minus.
Let me almost say this too. With getting Miller, it's almost like you're drafting Penny Sewell at left tackle.
Yes.
He's a
Sewell
Hall
now
of
plays
let
his
me,
right
let me
spot.
finish.
Yeah.
He's the left tackle. He's a Hall of Famer. That's a huge that's going to upgrade our offensive line. Taylor Decker was serviceable. He's a much better left. He'll be a better left
I'd
tackle.
hold off on the upgrade at least for this year. Sewell's going to have to get used. He hasn't played left tackle
He'll be fine.
since Oregon. We'll see. It's again, the non-football people make these it's a little piece. Don't work that way. It potentially, I think it's going to take Sewell a good year to settle in over there at left tackle. Long term, it could work. It's not the lock he just painted. They should have had Sewell. They never should have put him at right tackle to begin with. That was a mistake.
That was a mistake
that they made.
Next pick.
Vikings got Caleb Banks out of Florida.
Well, this is the boomer bust of the draft. 6'7", you said.
Is he like a physical freak?
Proctor, he's 6'7", 3-something, 330, whatever.
Yeah.
He also has a foot that's been broken twice in the last year.
Banks?
Yes. Potentially, he was a top 10 pick. From what I've heard, this was a pick made by the Minnesota Vikings D coordinator. They needed run stopping ability. They took another kid from Iowa State. They call him Big Citrus. No, he's he's a 350-pound man. When you start talking about big people in the NFL draft, there's some big
ones.
Yeah. Orange is his last name. Derek Orange.
Dominique Orange. You went second.
Dominique Orange.
Third round.
Yeah. So Minnesota needed run stuffing D tackles. They don't have a general manager right now. So the reports I've heard is their D coordinator kind of threw his weight around and they took those two guys. Orange is a really safe pick. He's healthy, huge. He's a great nose tackle. Minnesota got a guy that could be in the league 10 years there at nose tackle in the third round. The Banks kid, if he's healthy
Boomer bust.
and he is dedicated, then again, that would be an A++ draft if Minnesota rebuilt.
What do you give it though?
Now they also took a safety. Well, I'm not as big on.
In the third round.
No, no, that's right. The Bears took Thieneman.
Jacoby Thomas.
But they took this Jacoby Thomas kid. I don't know. I've heard that was a Flores draft for the Bears. And the problem with coaches doing drafts, they're drafting for right now needs. Yeah. I need this. Yeah, but that you can get dangerous with that. That Banks pick is a real stretch.
I think the Vikings are kind of in trouble. They seem rudderless to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think what's going to happen with the Vikings is, and there's no evidence that this is going to work. He's not the right sort of quarterback. But if Kyler Murray comes in and lights it up, the Vikings are going to win 12 to 15 games, and they're going to be in the playoffs.
And that Pistons comeback is the biggest comeback in an elimination game ever.
Yeah.
Wow. So we just saw history.
We saw history.
Well, the Orlando coach can put that on his resume.
What did he say at halftime? Hey, guys, if we win, you're saving my job. And they're like, you know what? We got to lose
We're going to lose this game. God, that was bizarre.
Well, you would have hoped he did say the game's not over yet, guys. We got to keep playing, but I don't know.
They did miss 23 straight shots.
But
okay, next.
Minnesota's going to be that Kyler Murray thing is what's going to, and that's how it's been in Minnesota. When O'Connell brought in Darnold, the guy the Raiders have, I can't think of his name, the quarterback's going to start instead of Mendoza. O'Connell's won with quarterbacks.
Cousins.
O'Connell's won with quarterbacks nobody thought he could win with. Everybody loves it in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy, who was their hand-picked guy, they couldn't win with him, and all of a sudden everybody got mad.
What do you give their draft?
Oh, I think you got to give them a C minus D.
So it sounds like they're the worst.
Well, no, there's other, but their draft is speculative. If Banks works out, that's an A draft. To get the best interior defensive lineman at what did they get him at? 20, 19, 18?
Yeah.
That would be a steal. So,
all right. Next pick, the Panthers got Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, tackle.
He's supposed to be a great tackle.
Well, he's a great prospect. All the athleticism is there. He has 15 starts as a left tackle. The size, the foot movement, he does need to get a little bit stronger.
Is he a good run blocker? Because Carolina can run the ball.
Yeah, well, no. Well, see, Carolina's kind of already set at tackle. They have this guy named Moton at right tackle, and they took this guy from North Carolina State a couple years ago in the top 5 picks at left tackle. Now he's coming back from a patellar injury. So Freeling may be able to come in and be a backup swing tackle. And if he's able to do that, because he needs development. He's not ready to play right now.
I'm also reading that they just added Rasheed Walker on a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Now, Walker's a real flyer. Green Bay let him go. Yeah. And if he was any good, Green Bay would have never let him go. But they have left tackles. They have a right tackle.
Yeah, it sounds like they got a lot of right tackle.
So you take Freeling. The plan is to develop him. He hasn't played much. Huge man. Great physical gifts.
Huge man.
No, he's got like 35-inch long arm. He's got all the physical traits, great feet, but he just hasn't played much. And to put him out there right now, you don't want to do that. But with what you just went through, we can sit him.
So they also got Lee Hunter, Chris
Big
Brazell,
D tackle out of Texas Tech.
Will Lee, Sam Hetch.
Willie's cornerback, Texas A&M.
Yeah. The kid from Texas A&M, that was a reach.
Another Penn State kid. I think the whole entire Penn State team was drafted.
Who out of Penn State?
Zachy Wheatley?
Yeah, safety out of Penn State. See, the D tackle from Texas Tech, they're going to play him next to that Brown fella at D tackle. That's a good pick. What
grade do you give the Panthers? C+?
Yeah, C+, B-, and it's all good. Freeling was a developmental pick, so you're going to have to see.
He's not going to help him immediately.
You can see how this draft has gone, though. There isn't anybody that you really get excited about.
Not really.
Not really. Here's a guy I was kind of excited about as a Steelers fan.
Lemon.
Makai Lemon, and the Eagles got him. They traded up to get him out of USC.
Well, I think this was the, people have been asking, was Philly going to move on from Brown at receiver?
And this is pointing to it.
Yeah, and everything points to Brown going to the Patriots.
We also got great reporting from Rossini.
Diana Rossini, yeah.
So she said that Brown is essentially going to the Patriots. I wonder how she got that intel.
Yeah, but that
Her and Mike Vrabel are best friends.
But first of all, how that whole story started, Brown played for Vrabel at Tennessee.
Yes.
So they have a history. The Patriots need a receiver.
She sent Vrabel a playlist when he was on a 4-game losing streak from Spotify to help him, like motivate him through the time.
It could be anybody named Mike.
It sounds to me like
okay.
what happened to Vrabel and this Rossini. Two people, they met each other on the job. They really liked each other, and they didn't handle it well. She was married. He was married.
Now, is she doing it out of love or for the love of reporting?
I always, my experience with women, you never have to ask whether the woman's in love, because the women are always in love, in my experience. So if the guy wants to get married and he'll, I'm all for it. It's the guys that tend to try to move on. Well, as we see what Vrabel went back to his wife and kids there. So, she lost her job.
Yeah.
Vrabel didn't lose his job, and I don't think
He's not going to lose. Most likely not.
They're going to have to force Bob Kraft's hand, because Bob Kraft got caught in a
there's
house of prostitution. He's going to be
There's always
more
some
forgiving.
scandal in New England, Boston areas.
Well, no, but people wonder why Bill Belichick and Bob Kraft are having trouble getting into the Hall of Fame. Look at how they do things. And also know this.
It's a Patriot way.
Owners and front office people are held to a higher standard, and coaches, I might add, than players. Like Lawrence Taylor was not a good guy. We all know this. He's using cocaine. I think Lawrence Taylor has been convicted of having sex with a minor.
Statutory.
Statutory.
Wow. I actually...
They don't do that, though.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but everybody, players... Ty Cobb was a Ku Klux Klan member. Babe Ruth was...
O.J. Simpson still.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson murdered somebody.
But I do think Lemon was
allegedly.
Maybe he
allegedly.
Did.
I think Lemon was a good pick.
But
So
yes,
let's get back.
Yeah, Lemon
with the Eagles. Lemon is the real
for
deal.
what Philly's trying to do. I've talked about Howie Rosen a number of times. I think the problem in Philadelphia
is
Jalen Hurts, and what you have there is the owner loves Jalen Hurts. And they've paid Jalen Hurts. And they've been to 2 Super Bowls, and they've won one with him. And I think the owner's looking at Sirianni, looking at Rosen, looking at everybody. You guys make this work, because he's my guy. Now, having said that, take a look at who Philadelphia drafted in the 4th round. You're going to love this.
They didn't have a 4th round pick.
Well, 3rd, 4th round. Take a look.
Markel Bell.
No. He's a 3rd rounder out of
So 5th round then. They got a quarterback, Cole Payton.
What round did they take him in?
5th round.
5th round. Okay. And guess what he is?
The Bison.
A dual threat, big kid, like 6'4", 240. He
6'3",
can run.
232.
Yeah, he can throw. Great athlete. Now,
he is a left-handed QB, and left-handed QBs don't usually work out.
4th round pick.
5th round pick.
5th round pick. But Howie Rosen taking a mobile, big quarterback. The Eagles are always looking at the next guy.
So they got Eli Sowers out of
tight end.
Vanderbilt.
He more of a projection than a true tight end. Great athlete. His combine
6'4",
workout was off the chart. There was an injury issue with him late, which didn't bother the Eagles. What's his name? Gettert, the tight end they have. Gettert's an old man. He's going to retire. That's what Stowers was brought in for. A lot of what Howie Rosen...
Wow, yeah, this kid's an athlete. His vertical leap is almost 46 inches.
Yeah.
No, wait,
better than Michael Jordan's vertical leap,
45.5 is no joke. They got Markel Bell.
He's not a true tight end. Markel Bell is from Miami. He was the tackle on the other side from the kid the Giants.
He's the biggest guy. He's
6'8", 6'9", whatever.
6'9",
350. Some people were not that big on him. The Eagles have luck with guys like that. I can't give Howie Rosen always works the draft well. The Eagles needed a receiver. They went up and took Lemon. Lemon's a tough kid. Lemon is not like that Tyson kid. He's not an athlete like Tyson.
His pro comp is St. Brown.
Yes, Amon St. Brown. Now keep in mind, the Lions got Amon St. Brown in the 4th round.
Well, that's how this draft is.
Exactly. So, and also keep in mind with Lemon, receivers are very dependent on their quarterback and their offensive line. So what we've seen with the Eagles, maybe Hurts is not the guy a lot of people thought he was. Their offensive line, Vance Johnson's getting old. Dickinson, the guard, got hurt. Cam Jurgens, their center, had injury issues. Will the Eagles be able to keep that up? Saquon Barkley's getting older. We said he was never going to have a year again.
No, we were on that train early, too.
Now that you take all that away from Jalen Hurts, can Jalen Hurts carry the football team? It's the same question I would ask about Brock Purdy with the 49ers.
So next pick, the Steelers got, I can't pronounce this guy's last name, but his first name is
Max. I can't pronounce it. He's
out of ASU.
Yes, he's a defensive tackle, Max
Eichenhauer.
Whatever. He is strict, like the guy the Panthers took, even more so. This guy's a developmental guy. Great
6'5",
athlete.
320.
Great athlete. All the measurables.
I think he's a good pick.
See, there was talk about the Lions taking Freeling and this guy at 17. So to get the teams getting him where they got him, where the Panthers got Freeling and now Pittsburgh getting this guy at 21.
He's tied as the second fastest O-lineman in the
great
draft.
athlete. No,
4.9 on the 40.
he just hasn't played a lot of football.
Jesiah, you as a Steelers fan, how do you feel about this draft?
I mean, I originally wanted Lemon. Said it a little bit earlier, but we got a wide receiver in the second round, Jeremy Bernard out of Bama.
He's not bad.
But then we got Aller, QB.
What do you think of Drew Aller?
I mean, you can honestly say if he didn't get hurt at Penn State, maybe Penn State wouldn't have had a losing record. Maybe they could have turned it around, but he got hurt and their season was essentially done. Franklin obviously got fired, but Franklin kind of laid an egg with how many picks they got to go in this draft, and they couldn't win a game.
Penn State, James Franklin's a terrible coach. I'll say I have no problem saying that at all.
Big game James.
But now Aller getting drafted, he's going to be fighting with Will
Howard.
Yeah.
Will Howard. So we'll see what goes on there, and then still up in the air what Rodgers is going to do.
That's kind of the key there.
Jeremy Bernard is kind of a poor version of Lemon. And what they were trying to do with Lemon and what they'll do with Bernard, if it's Aaron Rodgers. You know who had the shortest amount of time holding the ball last year in the league? Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't know that.
And Aaron Rodgers, because everything was short.
Yeah.
Dump it to the back. Dump it to the slot guy. Dump it to the tight end. Free, what's his name? Your tight end? Whatever it is.
Freemuth?
Yeah, get rid of it quick. Jimmy Bernhard's that type of guy. You'll be able to get it to him quick.
Yeah, his comp is Deebo Samuel.
There you go. That's
He's not
49ers player. Dump it off. The other thing is Broderick Jones, your left tackle, has a neck problem. So I'm going on about, we're not sure yet.
Well, I watched a lot of Steelers games. He was getting killed on that side.
He's also struggled. So Max may have to play sooner than what I'm saying. Now, the kid from Washington on the right side, who we actually saw, he was on the team when we went to Michigan, and he played in that championship game when we beat them.
For the Huskies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The kid on the right side for the Steelers, he did hurt his knee his rookie year with the Steelers, but he's come back. He started all 17 games. You're set on the right side. It's that left tackle where, and again, so.
What do you give the Steelers draft?
Oh, I give them a B+, A- because they went out. You may need a tackle. They got, at that point in the draft they were taking.
Regardless of what happens with Rodgers,
like
they got a left tackle.
Yes,
it seems like every
that's always just good for a
but even with Rodgers, Jeremy Bernard is a kid you can you can throw it to him short. They can use Jeremy Bernard at running back. When they say Deebo Samuels, now he doesn't weigh 220 like Samuels. He's smaller.
He's not too far off. He weighs 210.
Well, believe me, 10 pounds. But he's that type of player.
Looking at the whole draft, Steelers got every position of need. We got a tackle, we got a receiver, we got a cornerback. Because Steelers were awful in every aspect.
Even with Aller, it's a later round. They didn't force it. They didn't go up
it's a third round
force
pick.
it with Simpson.
And if Rodgers comes back, he doesn't have to play.
The only thing I will say about this, where the Raiders, I could see at some point, not the Raiders, the Steelers, somebody bringing this up. You do have Mike McCarthy, who is supposed to be this quarterback guru. I mean,
We'll see.
I don't know as he is. Yeah, but if he is, and the Rams were right about Simpson, what was wrong with the Steelers' head shed? Because they didn't even show any interest in Simpson at all. And if Simpson turns out, because Simpson's a guy the Steelers could have gotten, they could have traded up for him. I'm not even so sure. Like if the Steelers had said to the Rams, trade up to the Rams, and the Steelers take Simpson, because the Rams would have sat there at 2021, and they would have been happy to get Lemon or the offensive tackle that the Steelers ended up taking. So we'll see how all this works out. But getting Aller, would they get him in the third round? Third round's a little high. But Aller has all the physical traits.
I'd rather have him than Beck.
No, he's a better prospect than Beck.
And Beck went one.
And if it doesn't work with Aller, which it probably nothing you have at the quarterback position is going to stop you next year from getting a guy.
Next pick, Akeem Mesidor. I love this pick by the Chargers. Great pass rush guy.
After Bailey, he's the next best pass rush guy in the draft.
Jim gets another steal.
The problem with him is he's going to be 25 years old for the season.
He produced though, didn't he?
Yes, but again,
6'3", 260.
You probably will not. There are some people who says and I actually kind of agree with this. His pass rush tape is actually better than Bain's. He was the bookend to Bain, and we're going on about James Franklin, and we could have talked about May at Ohio State. How about the idiot at Miami?
At least he did make the national championship.
Both his offensive tackles, first and third round, 2 first-round pass rush guys, and he can't win the game.
How many points did they score against Indiana?
They didn't get much. But again, I think that speaks more to what...
I mean, it shows why they made a run in the playoffs. I mean, they
generally, you give the right coach. How did Sig win this in Indiana?
Jake Slaughter, he was a center, second-round pick for the Chargers, Florida.
That was high for him. What I had heard on the centers going into the draft, I heard the centers were rounds 4 through 6.
Yeah. And
then everybody started taking them early. It is a good center group. And what I've heard is the Chargers are going to play him at guard. They signed Tyler Biadasz, the old cowboy.
Yeah.
He's going to be the Chargers center next year.
What about
the Chargers have revamped the interior of their offensive line.
They needed it.
Yeah.
Extremely.
They're getting both tackles back, too.
They drafted a huge offensive tackle from Memphis, 6'8", Travis Burke.
Yeah, I heard about him. That's strictly a developmental project.
6'8", 325.
That's a pick right there. There really was nobody to take.
Okay, so
let's take an offensive lineman that we can develop.
And they've had so many injuries at the position.
Mesidor is going to help them from the pass rush, and Slaughter is going to help them on the interior of that offensive line. The Chargers are a team. They're getting their both tackles back.
And they got the new offensive coordinator.
And the guy from Miami, McDaniel, they're an interesting team. I'm not going to pick them as a Super Bowl sleeper because every year somebody... No, it's not just us. I've never seen Super Bowl sleeper picks where somebody doesn't pick the Chargers, and they never
do it.
They never come through. But you look at that team. You look at that team. There's a lot. If they start scoring, if they get the best out of Herbert,
they got it.
I mean, is Denver going to win all those close games again? The Chiefs.
What do you give the Chargers draft?
I would give it a B because the Mesidor after Bailey, he was the next best pure pass rush guy
at 22.
Yes, that's and getting Slaughter is a nice pick.
Like we could look back at this, like how the Titans took Tate and they took Tyson, the other receiver. If this guy's a primetime pass rush guy,
him. Yeah,
the only problem is the Lions. Remember when the Lions had Ziggy, John Ross?
Yeah,
it's like a 3 or 4 year deal.
Yeah,
he's going to be 30 years old when his next contract comes up. And do you want to pay a 30-year-old guy? No. And keep this in mind: Mesidor already has a huge, extensive injury history. He's had knees. He's already been hurt.
Next pick was
He's been in college 6 years, that guy.
Next pick was Malachi Lawrence, Cowboys. We already talked about it.
I like that pick.
Browns, Conception, we talked about it. Okay, so Bears' first pick.
It's their first pick.
Dylan.
Yeah, this was the safety I mentioned.
Safety, Oregon.
I'm not as big on him as a lot of people are. He had a big combine workout, and somebody started talking about
Workout warrior?
Well, his numbers are, he's 6'3", over 200
pounds.
I
like this pick, though. The Bears took Logan Jones, the center, in the second round.
Yes, and they signed a center, too, or was Bradbury. They made a trade. They picked up...
And I like the corner, Malik Muhammad from Texas in the fourth round. For a fourth-round pick, he's not bad.
I'm not as big on him as some people are.
Xavier Thomas, LSU wide receivers usually work out. He could be something.
He can run. He can run, and that's why you take him. let me say this about the Bears, and I don't understand this, and I don't know what they're doing, and I'm not a big Ryan Pace
Shout out George Wilson,
guy.
a fan of the show.
No, but listen, where's your left tackle? Where's the guy across from Montez Sweat that's bringing pass rush?
Well, the Bears defense.
They didn't address. So you take a safety.
Yeah.
That young fella that the Ravens took in the second round, you could have put him. They would have had 2 former Michigan Staters at the defensive ends there. I would have drafted him so fast to plug him across from Montez Sweat. Now I do know their left tackle's a guy by the name of he played there a couple years ago. You're going to get Caleb Williams killed. You don't have any pass rush.
Too long.
You don't have any pass rush. Who's the D tackle? They did take a D tackle.
In the 6th round, Jordan Vanderberg.
They're going nuts about him. Apparently he tested. Maybe he'll have.
If he tested so well, why did he go in the 6th round?
Because he didn't produce in college. No production.
Workout warrior.
Remember, people are forgetting this, how bad that Bears defense was last year.
It says he's light on his feet and flashes some quick.
Let me say this about the Bears.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
The Bears defense last year got a huge amount of turnovers.
Yes, that's not happened. They
Probably
were
not
number 1 in the
happen
league
this
in
year.
The Bears had the number 1 turn. I'm critical of Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams does not turn the ball over, and you do have to give him credit.
Well, he did throw the final pick against the Rams.
And in the playoffs, he was 2 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah.
You can you have to look at everything.
And he didn't have to throw that pass either.
No.
It was a bad. The route was bad though too.
He did all that to get into overtime and then just
then he kills you.
Throw it away. Oh,
next team.
So the Bears, who's going to be at left
grade
tackle?
2.
So I give the
Bears grade.
Bears grade. I'm only going to give them like a C+. Because they didn't address. You should have got pass rush, and you should have got
soon to be the
line.
Indiana Bears, by the way. Okay, next. What do you want? Next pick. Titans. Kalen Rutledge.
No. Texans.
Texans. Kalen Rutledge. Georgia Tech.
Solid guard.
6'4",
probably drafted a little high here, but remember where the Texans are at, and this is why I have to give this a better grade. They're trying to get that offensive line fixed because they can't protect C.J. Stroud.
No, they're getting him killed.
C.J. Stroud turned the ball over, in his playoff game? 7, 8, 9 times?
He fumbled the ball.
Yeah. So,
and
now, all of a sudden,
it was unbelievable.
What you thought was your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he's been looking bad since his rookie year.
They're killing him. He's getting hit, and have you ruined him already?
What do you think of the...
So they had to go ahead and make that pick.
What do you think of the Texans taking McDonald, the D tackle of Ohio State?
And again, I like that pick. They have a D tackle already, but he's older. McDonald's never going to be a pass rush guy. But to get McDonald in the 2nd round, he'll play the run. And he'll also, any defensive players that Tennessee takes, or not Tennessee, Houston, be comfortable with it. DeMarco Ryans knows what he's doing.
Ryans.
They're going to be. The question with them is what's going to happen with C.J. Stroud.
As a Michigan homer, you are, Dad. What do you think of Marlon Klein going 3rd round? I was shocked.
That's way. That high. No, he went 2nd round.
What 2nd round?
Yeah, second round.
Right.
That's way too high for him. What that is, they had a lot of success with Nico Collins, who was a kid out of Michigan. They got him in the 4th round receiver.
Who's a Pro Bowler now?
Stein physically techs off the charts. He's 6'8", 250.
He's a workout warrior.
He can run well.
No quarterback.
You throw it to him and he catches it, and you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Michigan didn't have a quarterback. They couldn't throw. So it's a projection pick. The problem I have with a pick like that is not so much the player. You probably didn't have to take him there.
This is that group of tight ends that you said.
I know.
A handful of teams took tight ends once
the Rams started. See.
Yeah, he was like.
This is 5 years later.
Now,
him and Claire went.
This shouldn't shock anybody, but Sean McVay's starting to get a reputation around the league. Like everybody, what's he thinking? What's he doing?
Yeah.
And once everybody sees him doing something,
it's a copycat league.
And even I'm doing it with the Simpson pick. Although let me say this, I did my own separate analysis of Simpson on tape.
Simpson was a 1st round quarterback.
And I said this to myself, the first 6 games of the season, this kid is, in this draft, he's a 1st round quarterback. Now, I had no idea Sean McVay was going to fall into him. And his last 6 games of the season,
not as good.
There's all kinds of problems. But then I looked into that and found out, and Oklahoma figured out how to defeat Alabama's pass rush protection.
They had no run game.
And they did. They quit running the ball. I've come to the conclusion this DeBoer fella at Bama, There's a lot of bad coaching going. This is a bad draft. There's not enough good. Since the year 2000, participation in tackle football at the high school level on down has gone down by 50%.
What do you
50%? There's not enough players anymore.
What do you
get
Houston's?
What
do you grade Houston at?
Well, because again, realizing the precarious position they're in with C.J. Stroud, you got to give them at least a B, because they're trying to help their quarterback.
With their 7th round pick, they took the Aiden Fisher kid, linebacker out of Indiana. He makes a ton of tackles. He's not a great player.
And again, remember DeMarco,
7th round pick.
They'll make that kid work. Aiden Fisher is very, very physically limited. I looked at him. I looked at the Indiana team because they had so few players drafted and so few players drafted high. Now Mendoza and Cooper both went in the first round.
Yeah,
and they had a kid named Pons go in the second round. But then you look at like Miami and Ohio State, some of these teams that are getting all these picks. Yeah. And here's Indiana.
Yeah. So Ohio State had 4 of the first 11 and couldn't win. They haven't won the Big Ten since 2020.
Aiden Fisher's smart kid, tough kid, undersized. He'll help out on special teams if nothing else. Teamer. And they may get something out of him at linebacker eventually.
Next pick was the Dolphins, Chris Johnson. We talked about him.
Johnson's a good one.
Okay, the other tackle from Utah, the Michigan offensive lineman savior.
Now
Caleb Lomo.
Here, when you look at the Steelers, when you look at Freeling, and I'll even throw the Lions in there.
We could have took him.
Because now, see, Lomo's a pure left tackle. That's the thing about him. So now he also has short arms.
So Utah had 2 guys that are going to be left tackles?
Well, no. They both were left tackles, but the only one that could play right tackle was Fano.
But that's still amazing. You don't see that.
But you're going on about Penny Sewell's flipping like that. It don't work that way. What people don't even understand is, the left tackle has a different hand on the ground.
It's all different.
And the stand.
It's all complete opposite.
But
Doug Skeen talks about it.
It's not. And you have to have your hands and your feet married. And Lomo and Fano could do it. Lomo couldn't do it. They left. And also, Lomo's a great athlete.
But yeah, if he's a left tackle, I mean, you take him.
I think this is a great pick.
He's better than the guy they have at left tackle.
Yes, well, see, and it also
that guy was terrible for the Patriots.
I wish you guys could run the tape on Matt. What was the offensive tackle? Is it Matt Campbell? Is that his name?
Yeah, from the LSU.
I sat here last year.
You were right.
And told you guys
he was terrible.
Short arms. He lets guys into his chest. Now listen.
God, he was bad.
He faced a murderer's row of pass rush guys.
The Seahawks.
They could have made Penny Sewell. They would have been a hard day's work for Penny Sewell.
But he's not
the
guy.
You don't. You got a quarterback back there that looks like he could be a franchise guy. They're going to have to move.
You don't get him killed.
Campbell even goes beyond arm length, and I've tried to tell people this. And it is a little, I noticed this with Freeling and even the guy you took. The Steelers, I say you, the Max. Steelers took. No, but they let guys get their hands in here. You can't do that.
That's what you said last year.
Those Utah kids don't do that. They keep the guys
extremely well
they've
coached.
Been coached.
Yeah.
And they may end up being I don't want to discount that Miller kid. That Miller kid is a tough kid that the Lions got.
The more I look at this draft, though, there were linemen in this draft. Offensive linemen.
You know what, though, John Ross, and just haven't gone through this the first time hit my mind. I might have taken Lomo and put him at left tackle.
And just leave Sewell right tackle. Yeah, they could have done that.
They could have done that. So we'll see how that. Yeah. See, this is how this stuff goes.
So in the second round, the Pats also got Gabe Jacobs.
I love. I have to say, and I personally think New England is going to take a step back next year because I think their schedule.
Have a tough
I love their first 2 picks. You guys are going to laugh at me, but these 2 picks, this is an A-. I wanted the Lions to get Jacobs.
So
I even thought the Ravens missed when they took Young instead of taking Jacobs. I had Jacobs over those 2 pass rushers.
But look at him though, his size. He's 6'4", 260,
and powerful. Like I'm going on.
He can be better than Reese.
We're going on about Moore's power.
Yeah.
No, well, Jacobs is not explosive like Reese.
So he's more of just standard.
But Jacobs had 11 sacks last year. No, and he's played with Belima in a pro system, going up against a play action pass. The Patriots addressed 2 needs late in the draft. They got Lomo late in the first round, and they got Jacobs in the second round.
We're getting late here, so
A- for the Patriots.
So is this your highest grade?
I think it's the Raiders. when you get the number one pick and there's a quarterback, you have to give them an AA minus. I think I gave them a B plus, A minus.
But as far as value goes, it seems like
the Patriots for their first 2 picks, they did as well as anybody.
Even with the scandal that Vrabel is.
Well, but what he was doing didn't affect the front office.
But he got counseling on day 3 of the draft, so he's rehabilitated now.
My biggest question with what Vrabel was doing, and this is where Bob Kraft would come in, was it in the workplace? If this was workplace behavior,
like how
then I think
Udoka was
everybody needs to be fired if we did that. But I don't know.
Rusi didn't work for the company.
Yeah, but she's in the locker room interviewing.
She is an NFL
guy.
person.
Insider.
Yes, he's talking to her. The players are around. It's a bad.
Okay, we're getting close here. Okay, so next pick, Peter Woods. We talked about him already.
Woods is a boomer bust guy. He's either going to be a superstar.
Omar Cooper, receiver, Jets.
That's a great pick by the Jets. The Jets. I'm going to, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you the teams I like the best.
Keldrick Falk, pass rush guy, Auburn, Titans. We already talked about him.
And that's a good.
Seattle's first
that's a good pick for Solly. That Titans kid, big kid, has all the traits. The production wasn't there, which is why he was there. See, Solly. So they didn't. They took the receiver and went with the pass rush guy later.
Yeah.
Last pick of the draft.
Could work.
Last pick of the first round, Jadarian Price, running back, Notre Dame.
Seattle had to do that. They need a back, and he was the second best back in this draft.
That's right, because
and you guys have pointed out. Otherwise, you're looking at the Penn State kids or the Washington kid Jesiah was talking about out of Arkansas. So you had to take Price because. I don't think Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm not trying to be mean.
I have a hot take. I don't think Seattle's going to make the playoffs next year.
I don't know about that, but they're not winning the Super Bowl.
They're in a brutal division.
They're going to have an extremely hard schedule. They lost Walker. We don't know how
it's not so much.
Other running back is going to come back.
He blew his knee?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charbonnet's in
rehab. And then Darnold, is he going to be good like he was last year? Or
so you're going about how good Darnold was. Darnold turned the ball over 28 times.
But in the playoffs,
I'll tell you what, he turns the ball over 28 times. They ain't making a playoff, don't you?
In the playoffs, he didn't turn the ball over at all, and that's why they won. But
Seattle doesn't figure to have the run game that they had this year.
And they also lost Kubiak.
And they won't have the defense that they had this year. They've lost a lot off that defense.
My hot take is I don't think Seattle's going to make the playoffs next year.
In the NFL.
They carried Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. Again, I don't think Sam Darnold can carry a football team. We'll see.
No.
If we're going to find out for sure this year, though, because Seattle's not going to be as good.
What grade do you give the Seahawks their draft?
I'd give it like a C or a B. They went
Price. They got Bud Clark.
Who? That's a great pick. That's a great pick.
I was gonna say
that'll fill one of the defensive backs that they lost.
Yeah.
So give me the whole draft. Then.
Okay, so Neal,
Julian Neal, cornerback,
and then they got Bo Stevens, guard out of Iowa. They got
that's a good pick.
Emmanuel Henderson out of Kansas, wide receiver. They got Andre Fuller out of Toledo, cornerback.
Who got the safety out of Toledo in the second round? Somebody got him. That was a second round. The Lions could have taken that safety too.
1 second.
Somebody got.
Who?
He's a safety from Toledo.
Warren?
Yes. Yeah.
Browns got him.
Yeah. That's a great pick. He might end up being better than the pick the Bears got. The Thienen kid.
Yeah.
That kid from Toledo. He only ran a 4.2, but see the Browns are drafting him.
Only a 4.2.
No, 4.52.
Okay.
But he's going to be.
Insane.
He's a big kid, 6'3", 6'2", close to 200 pounds. The Browns are going to use him as an in the box safety, and because they took him, that safety. And who's the other one that went in the second round high out of Arizona State? The Raiders. Those two guys may end up being better than Downs and the guy the Bears took.
All right, Dad. So give us
Dukes
yeah.
Give us the top 3 winners, top 3 losers of the draft, and then we'll wrap this up.
Though, as I already mentioned, the Raiders, the Browns, the Jets.
Winners.
Yeah, look at what those teams got.
And they had higher picks.
And they also had pretty high picks. Yeah. Remember, though, the Browns got all their stuff, John Ross. They moved back at 9.
I know.
The Browns might have
They had a good draft.
And this is the second year now when I've been talking about that Browns group. Now, I just mentioned New England. Those picks they got late.
They had a good draft, too.
Even a team like the Lions, if Miller's the right tackle,
it's huge.
And then you get the slot corner in the 5th round, and the two guys in between end up contributing, that's a good draft. This is a draft. I really can't, you guys are going to ask me to say who ended up with really bad drafts.
Yeah, 3 losers.
The talent is so bad.
I would say the Rams are.
You can't say that, though, because if Simpson turns out to be the guy.
But I would put him there now.
In terms of this moment, this moment team that you really have to wonder about is the Minnesota Vikings. Because taking a guy coming off of 2 foot surgeries in the last 6 months.
The Bills did not have a first-round pick.
Yes. No, the Bills did not have a first. The Broncos did not have a first-round pick.
Broncos.
But actually, the Bills and the Broncos didn't do that bad. There's a couple other teams that didn't have first-round picks. But
Broncos didn't even have a second-round pick either. Their first pick is the 3rd round.
No, but they didn't do that bad in the draft.
Tyler Onyedim.
His name is Tyler Durden.
What's his name?
Tyler Onyedim. He played at
D-tackle.
A&M.
Oh, yeah, D-tackle. They took him a little high, but
6'3", almost 300.
Yeah. He had some good tape at the end of the year.
Denver got that Coleman kid running back out of Washington in the 4th round.
He'll be a good 3rd down back from Denver. Atlanta's another one that had no first round.
You're right.
And those teams, though, that didn't have first, this was a year where not having a first round draft,
okay.
It didn't kill you
they got
because
the receiver from Georgia.
Yes.
He's a good player.
Although he was just arrested recently. Branch.
Driving? Well, that's fine.
Everybody.
They get in the car and get arrested.
Everybody Atlanta drafts. The Pierce kid they took last year.
They got the corner, too, in the 2nd round from Clemson.
He only ran a 4.6, but they're saying he didn't run well because he was hurt.
So, biggest loser, who would you say? Probably Bears.
I think it's Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree.
And Minnesota, and I also, the Bears not addressing pass rush or offensive tackle. Who did the Packers take? They traded out.
The Bungles didn't have a first-round pick either.
No, but they get the big D tackle from the Giants. The Bungles are okay because Dexter Lawrence is going to help them. And would you take Dexter Lawrence or the offensive tackle from Miami? Which one's going to help the Bengals more?
I think Lawrence is done.
Oh, I don't think he's done at all. I think he's got a couple more years. The tackle from Miami's got a bulging disc in his back.
Green Bay took Brandon Siss, cornerback.
From South Carolina.
I don't know how to
That's
say
a 2nd round.
Yeah.
I like his physical traits. Green Bay is a funny team. I always actually like what they do in the draft.
It never works out, though.
They never win a Super Bowl.
I know. They always.
No, but you have to admit,
a way.
John Ross, how they've handled the quarterbacks, how they had Rodgers there.
No, I know.
Even how they've had the guy now for
Love.
Rodgers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the Colts also didn't have a first-round pick.
They had a good draft though too.
C.J. Allen,
Yeah.
linebacker, Georgia.
No,
was their first pick.
that's a great pick that they got. He'll
He's a
start at
tackling
middle
machine.
linebacker for them.
I actually like this. All Ohio State people that I would shit on Ohio State. They took my favorite Ohio State player besides Downs, which is Caden Curry, the other defensive end.
Late in the 6th
round.
Yeah,
I think he's a good
he is
football player.
very physically limited. I don't
And
know what he's going to bring
They got
to the NFL.
the receiver from Oklahoma, Deion Burks.
Yeah.
He produced a lot at Oklahoma.
He also ran well. I don't know why Burks fell
He's
as
a
far as
7th
he
round
did.
pick. Yeah, that's
He's
not
a
bad.
very small man, though. He's small.
He's 5'9".
He could be
180.
T.Y.
Yeah.
Hilton, though.
But 5'9", 180, but I think he still ran 4.3.
Yeah, he's not bad.
So from what I'm reading, he fell because his lack of size.
Yeah,
That's
well,
why
no,
he
but
fell.
yeah, but
Jackson-
the Branch kid.
And he's a liability as a blocker.
Yeah, but
He's a
the
receiver.
you could say the same.
I mean,
What's the
it's
guy
just what
you
it
guys
says.
took?
That's why he
Jimmy
dropped.
Bernhard in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
It's just why he
Bernhard's
dropped.
Bernhard's a
That's why I'm
better blocker. He's bigger.
Also,
210.
the reason why some of these guys, we don't talk to them. These interviews do matter.
Yeah, but I'm saying Atlanta took Branch, who just got arrested. He's 5'9",
Well,
180.
he's a great talent.
Yeah, but his numbers are very similar to the guy you
Burks-
just named from Oklahoma.
Burks was big time last year.
They could be brothers.
All right, guys, that wraps up this edition of Club Rats. My
Yeah.
name is John.
I'm Jesiah.
Ross.
We'll see you guys next week. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Peace.